We live, we live, we live, we live, we live. What's up, everybody? What's up? It's me, Armel, your favorite hood cat. Tuning in, man. Don't look like nobody here with me. It's all right. It's all right. Give everybody a couple of seconds. Give everybody a couple of seconds, man. This weather, man, you can't get right. It's like winter won't go away. What's up, Shannon? I'm glad you're here. Yeah, yeah, it look like this winter just don't want to say bye bye, man. So damn, it's freezing outside. Yeah, I'm trying to take me a mind simulator nap, you know, try to stimulate my mind with a nap, you know, but I couldn't get to sleep. Things they playing basketball in the house. Yeah, I was trying to get me a nap. I wasn't feeling 100% today. It's just this damn weather. It's cold, man. It's like this shit. What's up, Jason? This is like, yeah, this weather cold. I'm trying to put together a thumbnail. Had these fools on the phone, integrity, and smashing that bass on the phone on the three-way. These cats, I had to hang up the phone on these fools. These fools get on my damn nerves. But yo, I'm gonna set this live off real quick. What gave me the idea was for this live, it was like honey versus shit. You know what I mean? And the concept Honey vs. Shit came out from my brother with Trinity Arms and yeah, my brother Joe VQ. You know what I mean? Conversation we had this morning, way this morning, and we were talking about uh Jova is a real deep dude. If you ain't never check him, you check him on Trinity Arms and get Jova is deep. I call that dude the big head scientist or whatever. Because his neurons run at a high level, and it's still somebody else quote that dude is a 3D dude. So Jova was basically we're going to have we're getting together in a couple of weeks to put together some content. um we're getting together down in an undisclosed location. Myself, Joe IQ, and a couple of other people, we're getting together and we're gonna bang together some content for Trinity Arms and Gear, and also this channel as well. The rated R shit is going on this channel, but but for the most part, uh, it's about like educated. It's about education and information, and a lot of it is going to be just to give some of you guys a preview of it. We're going to be shooting different barrel lengths, what I mean, utilizing different types of optic setups, and doing the science and the math on it, whether we doing from point blank range to 500 plus, and examining it and filling everybody in on the information and filling everybody in on information. So I think this information is needed, especially in a small community. We're not the big time, the big major leagues, but in a community that find us interesting or vibe with us, a lot of that information could be correlated in a familiar way. You know what I mean? And we were talking about that, but one of the things that come up is like, why do you think people need this information on like getting dopes and point of aim, point of impact, how to dial it in? You know what I mean? And one of the things that came up is like some people just, like me, just buy firearms just to have firearms. You know what I mean? But some people really take this thing a different way. So they take it into sport. You know what I mean? I see that you got a lot of pistoliers out there who stack and they get their pistols. And people, in other words, people have different purposes of use. So what we try to do is fill you in on a lot of the information that you would need to make an educated purchase. You know what I mean? Whether you make an educated purpose for self defense, or whether you're making that educated purchase on the sport, whether it be pistol sports or long range rifle sports, or making whether you're making your purchase, educating your purchase on an investment purchase, or just for the flex, or even GP. You know what I mean? Because I would like to think that people have some idea of what they're uh, using their hard-earned money buying these firearms for. But in that conversation, Jova said there was an argument between a fly and a bee. And I was like, what the fuck a fly and a bee argue about? He's like, which thing tastes best, sugar, honey, or shit? The fly said the bee. He said the fly said the fly said the shit tastes better than the honey, and the bee said the honey tastes better than the shit. You know what I mean? But some people like honey. Some people like beautiful, guns and all of this shit. And some people like shit guns. You know what I mean? For whatever fucking reason. You know what I mean? And I had a, it was deep, but it was some simple ass analogy. But to me, it was deep and it haunted me all day. So it was heavy on my mind all day. So I was like, man, I like shit gun because I don't really into that old pretty boy Floyd gun type shit. But some people like that shit. And I remember, like, back in the days on another YouTube channel where they used to have their fire or water thing. And it was dope, you know what I mean? But then I noticed I lost interest in the fire water thing because it seemed like everybody was liking the same thing, and I didn't like it. You know what I mean? They like these pretty 23 what they call it, 2011s and all of this shit. And I wasn't even feeling it. All them shit started to look the same after a while. And then it was just like the form over function. Oh, this one is better than that one. And I think it's like it wasn't a matter of which one was better. It was a matter of what's your style, you know what I mean? And I was thinking, it's like, do people even have like a gun style? A particular style that they like when it's like this is the type of stuff that I buy. Like I buy shit. You know what I mean? I don't get the honey guns, you know what I mean? Because that ain't I consider myself a type of masculine dude. I like my shit, no frills, no bullshit. You know what I mean? Just I don't, I'm not into the pretty shit. And I never was, even when even when I was into cars and shit, you know what I mean? When I was into automobiles and shit, always like dope shit, you know what I mean? I always loved the dope shit, you know what I mean? Always loved it. But sometimes the dope shit that I love, it wasn't for me. So I always bought, the fly shit that I liked, you know what I mean? So, I was growing up, everybody had the Jeeps and all of this shit. Cats was back in the 90s, these cats had the Jeep Cherokees and shit like that. I bought a Land Rover. You know what I mean? That shit was fly in the hood. They was throwing the rims on it, and those rims and shit was fly. But I was just kind of like, if I'm paying this money for a car, what the fuck I need to put the rims on it for? You know what I mean? So I bought me a Land Rover. It was a little bit different, but everybody has, different tastes, and it doesn't mean that something is wrong with the other dudes, you know what I mean, or with the other people, you know what I mean? And that's what makes the whole thing fly. So when I'm pulling up, my man pulling up with the Jeep with the spinning goddamn rims on it, and I pull up with the Land Rover, we all look good, you know what I mean? But we all are not the same. Yeah, it's I understand what you're saying, smashing that bass. It's just like do what you like. But what I'm quite referring to is for people to talk about their style. You know what I mean? Because I like to know what other people like. It's like what they like and why they like it. Because it might change. Like, oh shit, I never thought about it like that. You know what I mean? Introduce me to something new. And like we said, like back in the days of elementary school, you show and tell. You know what I mean? Tell a story about why you selected this shit. You know what I mean? say for instance, right? I don't like I, right? Only like black guns. I don't like Cerakote. For my purchases, I wouldn't want to Cerakote anything. I have my reasons for it, right? And those reasons ain't really good reasons, if I might say so. It's just my particular style. I think motherfucking one, I think a firearm is a utilitarian thing, as a tool. It's supposed to look a certain type of way. It's supposed to look scary and fucking ugly. It ain't supposed to look cute to me. But if some people like kinder, gentler looking things and pieces of art. You know what I mean? They like dressing them up and look pretty. I like that shit too. But all my shit got to be the same. And I also like my shit to match. You know what I mean? Matchity match. Like the optic match the optic matches the slide and it fits together a certain type of way. And I might be a little bit finicky about that, and I'm not so much into some people like brands, you know what I mean? And they purchase things on these brand things, and that shit fly too. But that shit is fly, but that's not my thing, you know what I mean? That's not what I do for myself. I like it for them because that defines them. The thing that I don't understand completely is people buy stuff because somebody else told them to buy stuff. You know what I mean? And they don't have their gun style is kind of all over the fucking place. You know what I mean? So it's like, how do it's very what they call eclectic. You know what I mean? So, and I do understand eclectic styles because at first I didn't have a style of my own, so I was just trying to jump onto whatever bandwagon or whatever people were saying. But then as I graduated, I was like, yeah, get rid of this shit. I ain't dealing with this shit. That shit just go to the side table and get rid of this shit. And this shit just going to the side table. This is not part of my mainstay. These guns here, these firearms here are defining my style or who I am. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm just like the story because it's like I mean, motherfuckers try to bully me, cats try to bully me on the thing. It was like, yeah, man, that shit is alright. I mean, they asked me about some other gentleman firearms. I was like, that shit is alright. That shit. He's like, all right, that's fly. That's a 2011. You showed me a motherfucking $8,000. I was like, I ain't gotta show you $8,000 motherfucking gun because I don't like an $8,000 gun, and it's not a matter of whether I could afford an $8,000 gun or not. You know what I mean? You don't just because I don't have something that somebody else have and this thing costs, don't mean that I can't afford it. It means that I choose not to buy it. Why I choose not to buy it? That shit ain't my style. Just because something is not my style and I choose not to buy it, don't mean I can't afford it. And every time a lot of people say, well, if you can't afford this, some shit ain't a matter of affordability. You see what I'm saying? Some shit ain't a matter of whether this person could afford this or not. It's not a matter of he's not buying a Atlas because he can't. Nah, it ain't even that all the time. It's just that shit is fly and all that shit, but it ain't my style. It might shoot better. It might shoot like glass, but it's still not my style. You know what I mean? And ain't nothing wrong with somebody not like it, somebody liking something but not wanting it. You see what I'm saying? Because it's not my style. That shit don't fit into nothing. Nothing. I'm a hoodie ass. I'm a roughneck, like MC Light said. I'm a roughneck, man. My guns reflect some roughneck shit. No frills, no bullshit. You know what I mean? This ain't the suit and this ain't the polo shirt and tight ass khakis ass shit. You know what I mean? Those dudes that like that shit, that's on them. I'm a roughneck. My shit stay black. My shit say black and scary. You know what I mean? No frills, no bullshit. It's for me. It's for my pleasure. You know what I mean? My wife is my wife. You don't have to like her. You know what I mean? Yeah, this person got a nice woman and everything, but she ain't for me. Mine's is mine's. You feel me? But yeah, but I would like to holler at you and see and talk to y'all and talk to y'all about how ain't nothing wrong with whatever you select because it's yours, man. It's your bread bought this shit. So you supposed to. And another thing I don't really like on the other side of it, on the flip side, Another thing I don't like is people being ashamed of the shit they bought. You know what I mean? If you paid your hard-earned money for it, you research and you throw something on it, don't be ashamed of it. Be proud of it. I'm Sight Mark King. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And it ain't because I can't afford nothing better either. It ain't because I'm on a budget either. It's because I selected it. I liked it. I put the shit on. I researched it. I put it on for my purpose of use. All that shit do is got to look a certain way. It just to finish out my project. You know what I mean? Who gives a fuck? I ain't going to war with this shit. I ain't going to war with none of this shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, but that's just what I mean. And Jason, that's true. They're just tools, right? But to me, they're not just tools. You know what I mean? They're it's a hobby or a thing that I particularly enjoy. You know what I mean? They're objects of my affection. You know what I mean? It's not just a tool implies that it's something that is crazy utilitarian. And I got shit that you couldn't use the motherfucking nail, put a nail in the wall. You know what I mean? But why you got? Because I like it, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Just because, you know what I mean? This is the first world problems, bro. And none of us, ain't too many of us getting this shit out of necessity. You know what I mean? Like the first one, especially when you enter this life. You feel me? You enter this life. A lot of us is selected this lifestyle. I know people who didn't select this lifestyle who enjoy their right to bear arms, and they got one or two firearms, and they done. You know what I mean? Because that's not a life. They have their firearms, they have their concealed carry, and they're done with it. They that's all the fuck they desire out of it. They don't have a desire to pursue any further. That's not the path that I chose. And a lot of us in the chat chose for ourselves. Our basic needs of necessity and our rights to bear arms were covered. We chose to go down a path of making this shit more than just about self-protection and home defense and shit like that. So we end up with these collections of more than five. Anybody who got more than five goddamn firearms, they exceeded their need. More than five, you know what I mean? More than five. The reason why I say five is one might be a necessity, two might be a necessity. You know what I mean? Because you got two hands, you might need one for each hand to do some gorilla shit. Boo, 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 boo. Right? But three might be, you know what I mean? You want to stage shit. You're a little bit serious about your self defense in your home protection arena. So three, top dog. You know what I mean? So four, if you got other people in the family and you want to make sure they're good, so you get two more. So that's why I said after five, and you still stacking shit up. you chose this life. You know what I mean? And when choosing this life, you pick up a particular style. You know what I mean? You got your handguns, the particular style of handguns that you going into. After your fifth one, you going into the store to select. You know what I mean? Particular type of rifles. You know what I mean? Particular styles of rifles. You know what I mean? Different things. After particular five, you chose this lifestyle. You an enthusiast, hands down, and you still buying after that, even worse. But so what are you buying, and what are some of the reasons you're making these purchases? Because I know this firearm sometimes can be a significant investment. What you say, Kingdom? According to you, what he said? My first AR had this Kingdom said my first AR said he said and I wish I have kept it. Yo, I got Sight Mark. I don't give a fuck. I was Sight Mark King out this bitch. And like I said, it ain't a matter of affordability. It's not because he's like, well, if that's all you could afford, no, it's not all I can afford. It's all I want to spend, or it's all I feel I need for this firearm at the time. But I'm gonna drop the link, man. Somebody can come in and chop it up with me. and we'll take it from there. But yeah, but that's just general. But I just hate that shit. That shit kind of offends me. You know what I mean? It's like this broke ass. Every time somebody say that shit, I'll be like, this broke ass nigga talk about what somebody else can't afford. You know what I mean? Like, how do they don't even really know people? And this shit be bugging me out, yo. It's kind of offensive. You see what I'm saying? It's not what people could afford, it's what people choose to spend their fucking money on. And me, especially if we're gonna talk about accessories, I don't perceive electronics of having any fucking value. You know what I mean? But this is just me. Electronics, flashlights, that shit don't have no value whatsoever. So if I'm spending X amount of dollars on a firearm, you know what I mean? That firearm, I don't feel deserves twice the amount or equal the amount of accessories on it, because those accessories doesn't have don't have the value. You take all that shit off, the firearm is what has any type of value. The accessories don't have shit. You know what I mean? Especially if it's got beat up or just traveling, and you know what I mean, or just everyday use or just practical use of it. You feel what I'm saying? So access what the fuck? I'm spending some money on a fucking optic and the shit got sights on it. I don't. I know some people would say every advantage that you need, but every one of my guns aren't a fucking service gun. Or I don't need every advantage I need for my own personal fucking. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get it. You know what I mean? But that's just me. But if people like doing that shit and decorating they shit, that's do you. I could like it. That shit is fire. That shit look good. I tell my people all the time, that shit look good. You know what I mean? But when it comes time to me and spending my shit, I might not go there. You know, my logic and my life is very different from yours. And yours might be very different from mine. But it has nothing to do with 99% of the time, it really doesn't have to do with affordability. But that's what people assume. You know what I mean? And that's what people go out. Affordable, budget, all these negative entities or shaming words. Ain't no more fucking humility in this shit no more. You know what I mean? And that's just the thing I want to talk about. There's no humility in this shit no more, man. And it stops being fun after a while with all this sucker shit. You know what I mean? We, you know what I mean? We could talk about that. I dropped the link. Anybody want to come in and holler at me? But yeah, but if you got a particular style, man, I would like to know some of you guys' style. You like them honey guns, or you like them shit guns, them fly guns. I like the fly guns, man. You call the fly guns them shit guns. I like the fly shit. I like that fly shit. I don't like, what I mean, the the personally. I like them. I like them both. I don't, for my own personal shit. I like more tactical looking black ugly ass guns. You know what I mean? I don't like I'm not into the shiny beautiful ones. You know what I mean? The ones that you take to church, or you know what I mean, or you go to the range and everybody say, "Damn," you know what I mean, or the flashy, flamboyant type things. I'm not really. That shit don't make me. That shit is dope. It's pretty, but it's not my. It's not. This is how I look a day. You know what I mean? It's not. It's not for me. You know what I mean? I'm not a dress up. I'm not the Gucci ass dude. Wearing name brands across my chest and logos all written on me and shit. I'm not that dude. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm just that's not me. You know what I mean? I'm not, the guy who wear essentials fear of God hoodies and shit. My hoodie is Milwaukee, you know what I mean? Just regular ass work, heavy duty. This shit made for doing shit that I do. The Saturdays, if it wasn't so cold, it'd be yard work or just what the fuck I do. I go to work, I come home, I do the fucking yard or clean up and shit like that. So my clothing reflects what I do. I don't, drive the fancy car or nothing. I drive a truck. Back and forth, do the fucking shit I do. I mean, I'm not in the flashy or causing anything. But if that's your vibe, nigga, shit, that's your vibe. I know you like Smith and Wesson, man, and the more tactical ones, but not exclusively. You know what I mean? But people gotta their own particular style, and I just want to just share this style. I like that fly shit, that fly ass, black gun scary shit. You know what I mean? That's just me. Some people like I know Kingdom like them Atlases, but he may like them for a reason that he like the way they shoot or feel like that. Some people like that. Ain't nothing wrong with what you like. You spent your motherfucking money on it. Shit. But just because somebody else likes something don't mean that you have to like something. Just because somebody else had a pleasurable experience with something don't mean you're going to have the same experiences with it. You know what I mean? The only way you're going to know is you got to get figure out why you purchasing this firearms. Like I could see this, right? I was done. I seen Kingdom Defense thing, right? Kingdom Defense posted up on Instagram. He got that cannon. And he said on his post, he said, I was done with Striker Fire guns. And I couldn't do nothing but laugh because enough is enough. Because I am the same fucking way. I was fucking done. I was probably getting one more Striker Fire gun. And that was it. I'm fucking done with Striker Fire guns. But what ended up happening is a conversation I had with Joe Va, Dude Knowledge, and a couple of other people, right? And some of the comparison was going on, between a certain set of Striker Fire guns. So being doing this YouTube channel shit and it stopped being as more of a Armel just doing his own thing and have to put out meaningful content. I took what I said about the Striker Fire fucking guns back, and I'm going to purchase more for content in order to compare, in order to have a baseline to compare. Because I shot some guns and I'm taking some guns out, man. But that little 5 rounds or a couple of hours with the gun, it's not enough to form a real meaningful opinion of. You see what I'm saying? So the only way that I could have a meaningful opinion, I feel personally, a meaningful opinion, or to share my opinions or my objective or subjective information on it, is if I own it. You see what I'm saying? So my one Striker Fire gun that I was had in my bag to purchase turned into 4. You see what I'm saying? I was only purchasing a VP9, right? Now it went from a VP9, still on there, a PDP, and a 509, a FN 509. That just went on the list as far as Striker Fire guns, because I really want to see, what I mean, what's the difference is and what I would enjoy more having on hand and build some nice content with these, you know, uh baseline tier Striker Fire pistols. You know what I mean? Because as far as I know, without out of the box any modification, these are the standards: Glock, PDP, HK VP9, SIG 320, FN 509. That is the baseline of what I feel is the baseline of Striker Fire guns. Every other Striker Fire gun is in comparison to those 6. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you guys feel. Roblox, you said, yeah, every one of them need tweaks on it. Everyone has their quirks. You know what I mean? But like I said, I was only buying one, so it meant the three more because those other three I didn't have. But that I consider creating a baseline for me to create a. I don't own it, and I've shot all of them, but just shooting something a couple of times here and there doesn't create a baseline because it's like how does it go in my bag or how does it fit in the places that I put them in? How that shit look on my wall? You know what I mean? On my gun wall. You know what I mean? How does it? You know what I mean? How do I transport it? You know what? You know how shooting it a couple of times don't fucking ain't ain't the equivalent. You know what I mean? So yeah, so but yeah, those are particularly the baseline. So it just goes with the ones I already have. Already had Glock, already got P10, right? Already got 320, right? Uh what else is there? So yeah, what else is there that creates this baseline? Anybody, any suggestions, y'all? So I put down in my list Walther, PDP, right? Striker Fire. I put VP9, all right? I put FN 509, right? And that's it. That's what I need to complete. So CZ Glock 320 is covered already. So just add three more. But I really wasn't only getting the VP9. That was it. I was done with after that. I was just done with striker fire guns, bro. Done, 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 done. Everything was gonna be motherfucking single action only or double action, hammer fire fucking guns. And then I was going to explore into revolvers. No, I wasn't even getting that far into it. I was getting some 22s because I don't have a single 22. You know what I mean? I was getting into 22s and my progression was going somewhere in the direction of diversifying my portfolio, my firearms portfolio. So it was just going into diversity. But like I said, that got stopped. You know what I mean? I I have one already, Jova. Or Cass has one. I have one already. So that's in there already. Yeah, the 226, man. The 226 was actually second on my list, but I had to push that back. Kingdom. The 226 was second on my list. So I was going to get this VP9 out of the way and get me a 22. I was actually about to get the 226 before the 320. But the sale came up and I couldn't refuse the deal, you know. I was like half off this 320 right here and I couldn't refuse the deal. So I was actually getting the a 226 first. You know what I mean? I was going to get the 226, the Navy SEAL joint. You know what I mean? Yeah, because this shit got the anchor on me, and it reminds me of the back not so good old days when they used to call me Chief. You know what I mean? But yeah, but that's what's so good. But these people draw me back into this YouTube, not the dick riders or follow you said, but just wanting to put out good content and create inform objectionable and subjectionable information. I feel that it's part of it to have some of these in our catalog. And also, striker fire weapons are, whether you like it or not, the most popular semi-automatic firearms on the market. There, more of them are being purchased, and I would like to just have enough of the baseline ones, the form to give people information on the purchase or what to choose on. You know what I mean? Or these are the baselines. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's just Big Riz. What's up? Integrity. What's up? Let me say Kingdom. What's up? Jovar. What's up, man? Somebody come on in here, man. Y'all don't even know how difficult this is right here. So I'm gonna sit here and have my libation and but yeah, and guess what? All of my shit is black. You know what I mean? Everything that you're gonna see is gonna be black, man. Yeah, you know what I mean? Everything's gonna be black, blackety black, black, black. So I had to push some of my more classic purchases to the side because the thing I was looking at was a 1911 old school GI setup, a church, or more of a church gun. And it wasn't nothing fancy. It's looking at a Colt 19. I was looking at more of a historic point of view. So I was looking at something more of a Colt 1911, a Colt branded 1911, and I was looking at uh, a Beretta 92, but that was a little bit difficult because I couldn't exactly find the one I wanted. The one I they don't make the perfect gun. Just they need to make them shits and kits. I couldn't find the exact Beretta 92 I wanted. I might be able to pull it off with this new one they got, the GTX, but then it's not the classic look. And then I was looking more at the FN 32, the Browning high power remake, and that was just going to fall in line with my CZ75. It was going to be like Colt 1911, a Browning high power, or CZ75, and a Beretta 92. And that was just going to be like the that Hammer fired my classic piece set. Those are what I consider classics. You see what I'm saying? And they're all gonna be black. You know what I mean? Uh yeah, they all were gonna be black. So my problem I had with the Beretta was the uh the A4. It only comes in that color and it doesn't fall in line with my place. And the A3 doesn't have a optics mount. And if anybody ever shot Berettas before, and I know I have many years with it, you know what I mean, and many years while I was in the military with it, the sights on Beretta are shit. the the sights are shit. You know what I mean? So if you could throw a red dot on that damn thing, you're good. It take the sights off. That the sights is shit. You know, and I know you could update it better, but a red dot makes that shit so much better. But it's just the way the breech lock mechanism work is. But yeah, that's a whole different story. But it didn't. My only purchases, like the A4 has everything I want on it, but it's the wrong damn color. You know what I mean? It doesn't fall with the OG $2. What's up, Biggs? What's up? It doesn't fall with my particular gun style, man. It looked too, it looked too combaty. You know what I mean? It looked like that shit just came out of the it looked like that joint just came out of the desert or some bullshit like that, bro. Like some camouflage gun. You hiding in the sand ass. You know what I mean? And ain't no sand over here in Northern Virginia. Ain't no sand over here, man. It's just dirt. It's dirt and asphalt. You know what I mean? Asphalt, black, dirty. That it just comes in that ugly ass flat dark earth color, and I ain't feeling that. It doesn't fall in line. Tony Macaroni, what's up? Welcome home, bro. What's up?
Oh man, today has been a awesome day, Slim.
Damn,
Awesome
you
day.
hit the lotto, bro.
Nah. I wish that would definitely take it off, but still was a good day. But yo, Slim, you and these black guns. I'm sorry. You need to bring some color in your life, Slim. You need some
Yo, man,
color.
I like my guns like I got my woman, black and plain, bro.
Oh yeah, I get
I
you.
don't
I
get the
get you,
fancy ones, man. I don't
bro.
need the fancy dancy. No
Maybe that's
frills,
why
no bullshit.
my guns are all different shapes, sizes, and colors, the same way I like my women.
Oh man. Oh man. Yo, this crazy, right? I remember I was talking to you the other day about your pink 38.
Yeah, hey, somebody was like, that must be your wife gun. I'm like, nah, that's mine.
the pink 38 out this bitch.
No, that's mine.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's crazy, man. But It's just like it's like no frills. I don't like to be flashy or nothing like that.
I feel you, but that's like you said. Once you get so many, then that's the part of my collection, or like how I feel like they start. I want to change up and do little weird stuff to them. Add
Yeah,
color, put it.
I
I don't
think
know.
a lot of people do that, but that's their style. That's
Yeah,
their
exactly.
style.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be clearly defined. When they look at my gun, when I see when somebody come here and shit, and they come in and they see all. First thing they say if they post by, damn, why you got all these guns, right?
Right.
That's the first thing. The second thing is they're very plain. That's what Cass says. Cass says your guns are very plain. I said, aren't I plain? You say, yeah, my brother says the same thing. He said, your shit is kind of bland. Your shit kind of corny. And I said, I'm corny too, right?
Yeah.
So it just it fits the plainness, the lack of the no frills of it is me, but functional. It's no frills, no bullshit. You know what I mean? Pick it up and go. It's not no bullshit like it's a bunch of black high points or anything like that. It's no frills, but it ain't bullshit. You see so that's how I
give me a
perceive
high
it.
point.
Huh?
I'm gonna give me a high point.
I don't go that low, bro.
Yo, I'm gonna give me a high point or a sky, and I'm gonna go shoot that joint in competition at a
I
national.
you can hit nothing with a sky. I was actually talking about that with Joe Va today, right? And Joe Va and I had a conversation, right? And the conversation was kind of like a lot of people got clapped, like what gun got the most bodies? And that gun that has the most bodies is like, nah, we can't even get into it. It's probably AK-47. But we said
around the world,
it's probably AK-47 got the most bodies on the fucking planet Earth.
Yeah.
Right? But it's just like in practical applications, it's caliber, we said. So in caliber, it's probably like a 22. Right? A 22 probably got the most bodies on it. You know what I mean? Because that's like the spy gun, the one they drop out of the airplane, run their espionage activities and all kinds of. And don't forget all the daggone street shit all around the world. The ammunition is was easy to obtain and concealed forever, everywhere. Probably for daggone 2 world wars and up. You know what I mean? And still going. That 22 is a daggone is a deadly ass beast. But yeah, me and Joe Bob was talking about that earlier today. But yeah, man. But that's yeah. But everybody had a style though, man. I don't even have a 22.
Oh shucks, I got quite a few. I got a nice 22 collection. Nice 22 collection. Handgun.
Jason Ewing said can't nobody mess with him on 22s.
Who said that?
Jason Ewing. He said that a couple of weeks ago.
Oh wow. Hey, he might. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like less. I might be at 10. I might be at 10.
So what do you think your style is? What do you think your style is?
Excuse me. Corny like you, but like I like those weird guns that nobody else normally would get.
What do you call weird though?
Let's see.
It ain't weird. It says your style is
it's a little unique, different. Yeah.
All right. So
like I got I have a shotgun, but it looks like a M16. It's designed like an M16, but it's actually a mag-fed shotgun, like a 5-round magazine shotgun.
So what made you purchase it? When you go in the store and look, what catches your eye?
Yo, different. Just something to speak to me, something different, something that at one point, I changed. Like at one point, it was like I wanted every caliber. I wanted at least one firearm.
I was like that too.
And then it went from that to now I want unique stuff. I want this because it's different. It speaks to me. It's exciting. Now it might sit in the safe and catch dust, but still, it's mine.
So I got a question though. Tony Macaroni. I got a question. What do you understand what I said meant about honey guns?
Honey guns?
Yeah.
No.
Honey guns, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I said. Honey guns is what, when I'm looking at somebody with a honey gun collection, they're very sweet, very beautiful, very pretty thing. So if I look at a gun collection, right, somebody who we all probably know, we say like 2A in LA, right?
Yeah.
He has some really, really dope shit, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But
Yeah.
all of his guns is like, or most of his guns, not most of them, the later selection of his guns are more honey than shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even the plain ones, if we don't even get into like the 2011 setups that he has, when we look at his Glocks or his Canics or his Walters that he does have these things. His HK, they're not just no frills, no bullshit. He has to put a razzle taz on them and make them look, not unique, but reflect his it reflect his style, right?
Oh,
And
yeah,
that's
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And that shit is dope. It shows his creativity and it's put his personality in it. But that shit a little bit too sweet for me. You know what I mean? That shit is dope. You know what I mean? But that shit is a little bit. It's not me. You feel me?
Yeah.
But it's dope to see. You know what I mean? And I hope he inspires some other people. But I hate to see people copy it.
So this the way it does two things. For some people, it'll be inspiration. For others, it would actually put them in a depressed state to where, because they can't get it, or they think that since they can't afford those type of weapons, that they're not cool, they're not in. And the same thing about cars, clothes, and a whole bunch of other stuff. People do that. It's just like we feel sad because we can't get certain things. We can't go on certain vacations. We can't live in certain neighborhoods. So
that shit is envy, bro. That ain't sadness. That's fucking envy.
Okay, envy. All right. But, I mean, there's people out here that's you know what I'm saying, that's gonna
Not
see
that, man. That ain't sad. You know what I mean? But and I don't do you because I know people, you know what I mean, who can have these things. You know what I mean? Like whether it's a car or anything, they just choose not to have it. I know plenty of people who goddamn can have a Ferrari or the hottest, and they choose to drive a fucking minivan or a 150 or some shit like that. I know
right
mega people like that. It's not a matter of affordability. They just choose not to buy shit like that. You know what I mean? So I hate when people say they can't afford it. They just choose not to buy it, whether you could afford it or not. Some people they choose not to buy it. You know what I mean? The only people talk about whether somebody could afford something or not is the broke motherfuckers who can't afford it, or or blow the bag trying to get it.
Yeah. That's the only thing. I mean, that's my reason. Like, I like exotic cars, but my reason I won't. Certain things come before it, so that's the reason why I don't have.
You got different priorities.
Yeah, priorities. Yeah.
It's different priorities. It's not a matter of, a lot of times it's not a matter of affordability. It's just different priorities. There's other things that's more important than me having this car. But if those things ever stop being important to me, I just might get this car. You know what I mean? Like if my wife ever kicked me out, I'd be on the road. I'd be having all kinds of shit. Reckless as a motherfucker. Irresponsible as a bitch.
Man, forget that.
Irresponsible as a bitch. You know what I mean? But I got other priorities. We got families to look after. This stuff comes before, it's not a matter of affordability. You know what I mean? It's just that there's different priorities. People have different priorities. It's not having the illest gun collection is not high on my fucking list.
Same.
It's not very high. It's not something that defines me. You know what I mean? It's not
look at the gun collector. This dude got rooms and rooms, and still that doesn't make him who he is as a person.
Right.
He chooses like, oh yeah, I got this gun. I just spent $30,000 this month on firearms. but yet and still, you know, him hanging out with his wife or, you know, whatever he do in his personal life is way more important than that, whatever he just did.
That shit blow, you know. I mean, this is it's just, you know, he has his hobby at entertainer, and I guarantee he could have even more than that if he didn't have other priorities to take care of.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? If he could be like Dragon Man or something like that, because Dragon Man got the poison pills and nothing else to fucking do. You know what I mean? Dragon Man got the illest shit. The compound, you know, but I'm sure he had other priorities. I think he liked looking at his shit. So he spent more money on the room to put the guns in than the guns cost. If you notice that.
Dude, yo, protection of your firearms is freaking expensive.
Nah, but it's just like creates. I think when I'm looking at the collective videos, he finds enjoyment in looking at it and presenting it in a certain way more than he enjoys shooting it and blowing the shit up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he has enough guns, he can shoot a different gun every day, and it's a different gun every day. So, but every day, if he could go look at it or build something else to show the showcase his shit, that's, you know what I mean, that's where he get his that's where he may get his
enjoyment,
his rocks off from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just kind of like displaying it and looking at it like a museum or something like that. I guess that's why they call him the collector.
Technically, he called his damn self that, but yeah.
That's why he might call himself the collector. You know what I mean?
Yo.
You know, everybody call themselves something for a reason. I call myself Armel for a reason, or 2 Alpha Life for a reason. You know what I mean? You got Tony Macaroni. I don't know what the hell that might be, but it's a reason you call yourself that, you know?
Yeah, it is.
It's a reason people call themselves what they call themselves. Presentation and appreciate the finer things, you know what I mean? The fine things. And then you got Michiko. I don't know if y'all know him. Michiko is a blonde individual, right?
Yeah, with the AKs.
With the AKs. He got he got sick ass collection, yo.
Yeah,
he blind as a bat. He can't shoot. You think Michiko worried about accuracy? How he gonna check the accuracy? He a blind man. How Michiko gonna tell you? But when he reviewing those firearms, yo, he blind as a bat, but he could tell you every detail about an AK like you never seen. And not just AKs, a lot of the older Swiss guns, the SIGs, the FALs, you know, all those German shits, he'll tell you from the rivets to the details to the interiors, and just by feeling it, his appreciation for the firearms is beyond all the accuracy and all of this bullshit that we showing on the gram. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's not about. And I'm sure he don't have it for self-protection, because I you know, I mean, I can't imagine a blind man concealed carrying getting a concealed carry. Is that even? Do you even have to have vision to have a concealed carry license, man?
It depends on what state. I think so. I think you do.
To have a vision test, because you do got to shot
because they make you shoot.
So that the whole thing is discriminatory, because if I'm a fucking blind man and I'm a citizen of the United States and I have the right for my 2A rights, and you discriminated me because of a disability.
No, it's not discrimination. So I think it's a right to own, but is it a right to carry?
They try to define the right. Bearing means carry.
Bearing. Oh, not to. I thought always. Okay.
It's a right. It's your inalienable right. So those rights can't be changed, but they've been finding ways to change it over the past 200 years or whatever, 200 and something years. So if he's a blind man, there's no restrictions on his criminality or anything like that, and he walk into a gun store and you the FFL, you gonna sell the blind man a gun?
Hell yeah, I am. I'm selling that. Yo.
I got a question for FFL. Integrity. He is blind. Integrity. He completely blind, bro.
I don't know. I think is he legally blind or is he?
No, he totally blind. The shooting that he does is under supervision. That's what the other two dudes are there for.
Okay. Well, that
He
would be
doesn't
cool because I'd be down for that. I'm like,
Yeah, he's
if
totally
y'all can
blind,
stand
man.
there and I still be able to pull a trigger, still get that impact, that'll bring satisfaction to me.
Yeah, he totally blind, man. That nigga even got a walking dog.
He got a dog too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
cool.
seen him at Shot Show.
Oh, that's dope as hell.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, he got a walking dog. And other people handle his business and shit like that.
Yeah, I know that lady, the one who
it got like a lady and like 3 guys.
3 guys. All right.
Yeah. He got a team behind him, you know what I mean? It's not just him. You know, but that dude totally blind, Integrity. Totally daggone blind. But I'm saying, you a FFL, Integrity, that's a good ass question. You a FFL, will you sell a gun to a blind motherfucker?
I think he would. I think every FFL would.
There's no reason not to.
I mean, I guess as long as you can fill out, and then plus on there it says that somebody else can fill out the paperwork for you. So like what I'm saying, like for people who can't read or be in that case blind, someone else can fill it out for you, and they just sign their name to say that they filled it out for you.
Yeah, but that shit crazy. But it's discriminatory that they can't get their CCW.
Shit.
Huh? And yo, if I was blind and I go to a gun store and I buy a gun and I pass all my shit, come back, right? And they choose not to sell me a gun, I'm suing them.
yo, that's fucked up. That's messed up,
bro.
That's messed up.
I'm suing them. I'll be going to every goddamn gun shop in fucking Virginia, bro. And I'm suing everybody into oblivion. Choose not to serve me. And that's it, yo, for real. That's how you fix these motherfuckers, because that's what they doing to us. They suing us. Shit. I'm suing everybody, bro. Put your hands on me and I'm suing you. I'm like Don King on that Muhammad that Mike Tyson movie. I sue you. I sue you. What Joe Voss say, man? I sound like Stevie Wonder 2-way. Yeah, being blind don't prevent nobody from.
Shit! According to the Google machine, a blind person can still get CCW. A blind individual can still obtain a CC.
Because legally they can't discriminate.
Yeah. Yep.
And really, even on the form, because of disability and blindness is an impairment or a disability. That question they ask about your mental health, that's a discriminatory question. Because of the HIPAA Act, your health information is secret. Even with a court order, unless it was a court-appointed doctor that works for the court, they can't obtain your medical information. Unless you sit there and talk to a court-assigned doctor, you know what I mean, that was assigned by the prosecution. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
Here's Jason. Damn, where the fuck you been?
Yeah,
I'm over here now.
You still in Washington, man? You look young as fuck, man. Let me put my glasses on, man.
We're getting ready to get out of here.
You look young as fuck, man. What happened to you, man?
Cut the hair,
It's not just the hair, man. You look young, man.
Well, thank you. I'm older than ever.
What's good with you, Jason?
Nah, chilling, man. Just getting ready to move and everything. Trying to get ready to list the house probably in the next month or two. Getting ready to move out to the East Coast, hopefully.
Shit.
Congratulations, good, bro. Boy.
Thanks, brother. You look good too, man. You too, DC
Money Mike. Fucking way.
We got to show these young kids how to do it, man.
Right.
I look the same way. I'm raggedy. I ain't shaved in a week, man. I ain't shaved since last Sunday.
You see this guy? That's my new favorite 22. That's the Ruger Precision 22. And I put a little bipod on it, a nice Leupold scope.
You pointed to the wrong guy.
Oh. Armel remembers. Pedro.
Yeah. Show DC money.
I see him. I see him.
That was my grandmother.
Oh, damn. I love grandma. She cool as heck.
Yeah, grandma was wild.
For real, Jason, what's your style, baby? What's your style?
I really just like practical tactical guns. You know what I mean? I'm not into.
I mean, like shit guns.
I don't really call
So
them.
it's the honey guns that's the pretty ones, and it's the shit guns that are just blah plain.
I mean, I can see having a Cerakoted gun or maybe a couple in your collection just because you like to show them off or something. I understand that, you know. I mean, I've thought about doing certain guns that aren't really, they're not practical for self-defense and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like in that case, I could see doing something like that, but I'm not going to wear something on my hip that sticks out because I'm trying not to stick out, honestly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just my move. If I was competition shooting, I could see doing my competition gun up, something like that. And I'm not bashing on anybody for what they like, but for me, I just like I like a tried and true gun though. I don't like something that's experimental or new necessarily to the scene, especially if it's something I intend to use to protect my life or my family, you know?
Yeah. Ray Official, another FFL on here, said he sells Stevie Wonder a motherfucking gun.
Yo. Hey. Yeah.
He sells Stevie Wonder a ticket to a silent movie, man. He said.
Yeah, I'm not really buying much guns anymore, though. There's a couple I got my eye on. I want a 1911. I'm thinking of Smith & Wesson. You know what I mean? The lever action Smith & Wesson, I've been looking at that one. I mean, I don't have anything against any of the other lever actions either. It's just I'm a Smith & Wesson guy. That's kind of my thing, you know? And I want a decent lever action, but a lot of stuff out here you can't even buy anymore, really.
Yeah, but you're about to move, man. In another 30 days after when you get to your location.
But for now, what I've been focusing on is optics, just accessories, you know, stuff like that, because that stuff I can still get and upgrade what I have to a certain degree, you know. And like my carries, I don't have any optics on those. And the reason why is because if you break that damn optic, trying to get that thing off, if you know, I mean, you could still probably utilize it and just shoot over the top of the muzzle, but you know, I've always used iron sights, and that's just what I'm more used to for quick acquisition. You know, I mean, with some of the stuff you can co-witness, but if your glass is busted, you know, you may not have time to clear that glass out of there, and if it's all cracked in there, you're not going to be able to see through it enough. You're going to kind of be blindly shooting, you know. And I don't know what
right?
It's hard to say what your situation will be. You know?
I'm glad you mentioned that. Accessories is honey as shit too. Because
kinda. I've been really digging the dots though and stuff for accuracy, maybe, especially at like at distance. And we've got a few things that like are co-witnessing now and stuff like that. So I do kind of like it, you know, especially because if you can co-witness, it seems like you could acquire the dot faster because you already know where to look, and it really puts that dot where it needs to be. And then you can really work on your precision shooting, you know, because I like to shoot pistols at like, I don't know, anywhere from like 20 to 40 yards, you know.
Okay.
And that's a pretty good distance. And I feel like with the two, especially when I'm co-witnessing, because we have two pistols that do it now, I can really fine tune that and get really precision shots.
Roblox said I'm a caveman. I'm saying though, I'm not saying that is up with the optics, right? But I'm like, say for instance, I'm kitting out this gun. I'm kitting out this 320 right now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I'm no frills, no bullshit. So
yeah,
I'm gonna get something, you know, that's particularly something fitting for the firearm, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the price of the optics, right?
Yeah,
it's like optics and flashlight. Right, I'm looking at the price of the optics and a flashlight. Right,
yeah,
that shit is expensive, bro.
It is.
It's not expensive to the point where it's a gun, right? And I'm gonna kit this shit out. I'm gonna put an optic and a flashlight on it regardless. But like I said, we're living this life. We're not regular fucking people that's doing this for my self-defense gun. My self-defense gun or my house gun, that shit could have the dopest shit, the most reliable shit ever. But I'm beyond the fucking 2 pistol plate realm. Every pistol can't have a $300 fucking optic on it.
And I don't think
And
it should.
I got too many.
I don't think it should.
And you do too.
But and here's the thing too. With these pistol optics, there's a variety of different reticles. There's a lot of different sizes of the reticles, and you're gonna fine tune what you like and what you shoot best with. You know what I mean, for your application. Because like on my PCC, I've got one that's got like a circle with it's got the hashes between it, and then it's got a dot in the middle. I like that on my PCC, but I wouldn't want that on like a pistol. It's just too much. I want to be able to really see and identify my target.
Yeah.
You know, because
I got too many pistols. I got too many pistols to put a Surefire on every one of them.
Well, yeah, but get a variety of different ones. Right now, we have like, I don't know. And last year, you know as well as anybody, we didn't have one pistol optic. You know, we didn't have not one. And then RGG sent us one. It was a Sealy, and we put it on one of the pistols. I think Shenna's 22, her Ruger 22. Started experimenting with it, and then just getting used to acquiring the dot and everything. And then we moved on, and we got, I think Fam sent us one too. It's kind of blocky, kind of chunky. I think it maybe should belong on something else. We've got it on the Canic right now, but just trying stuff out and seeing what's going on. You know what I mean? And then we ended up, Shanna put a Trijicon RMR. That's what she wanted. So we put that on the Turkey T9C, right? Then first I got a Leupold. I initially got it for her on the T9C, but she didn't really care for it. And the mounts, I would have had to put adapter plates and stuff. And I didn't really want to go that route. So, because I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just ordering optics, you know. But I made that fit on my Smith & Wesson M&P 9 2.0 all metal. Like, it fits really nice on there. So I kind of won out of that one. That's when I got her the Trijicon, you know. And then the Swamp Fox, we had a store in town going out of business. And I was like, how much is it? She was like 50% off. I was like, I'm sold. You know what I mean? Because 50% off, and it was helping her because she was trying to offload everything in the store. I was buying ammo too at really good deals. So it was, and I like the lady, you know, she's taken care of me a few times. So aside from that,
a lot of gun shops are going out of business there.
Yeah, because they can't keep, they can't, yeah, a lot of them. There's another one going out of business in June. It's not worth it to try to have an FFL. First of all, the only thing you can have is pistols. And you have to be able to have it with a 10-round mag. If they don't make a 10-round mag,
what if they're selling to out of state? What if they're selling to out of state?
I could sell out of state. Yeah, I could sell all my guns out of state if I wanted.
That's what I would be doing.
They can't turn over to anybody else in this state, not even your family.
Yeah, later for them.
What if you sell it without a mag, without magazine?
You can't.
If it can't get a 10-round mag, like if you can't get a 10-round mag for it, like if there's not one made, they're not even going to consider it. It's just going to get denied.
Damn.
And they're so bad that they steal people, they take people's packages and that if you order something, like if somebody sends you something, they're going to see it in the mail. They're scanning the packages, you know what I mean? And they're grabbing gun parts. You can't buy parts.
Y'all looking for the most gun-friendly country in the world that doesn't have like civil unrest and everything? There's this country called Namibia.
Yeah.
You ever heard of it?
I've heard of it. I've never been there.
Namibia used to be part of South Africa.
Right. I've been to Liberia. How far is that off?
It's on the other side of the continent, below the equator.
There you go.
So, Namibia is the least populated country in the world, right? It used to be part of South Africa. They speak English and everything, so it's really good. But they have the most liberal gun laws on a fucking planet. And they don't have no civil unrest. The only thing that they had was when they divided from South Africa to become their own country.
Yeah.
And that was like during the 80s or some shit like that. when they stopped being a territory of South Africa.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, but that it no fucking civil war. They got diamonds, gold, oil, you know, all the shit that we got here, and none of the goddamn regulations.
Yeah.
And you ain't got to worry about nobody taking over a fucking Bush war.
Our problem here, man, they just let a guy go. A guy knifed the guy at the casino in the throat, cut his carotid artery, dude bled out on the floor. They didn't even close the casino. They put freaking you know those partitions they put in offices?
The
They
cones.
put those around it, let everybody keep gambling. You know what I'm saying? They try to keep it hush hush. And then dude just got out on bail.
It didn't stop him from having a knife, did it?
I mean, you can't stop somebody from having a knife. That's what doesn't make sense about this whole gun control agenda. Because there's guys running around in places, you know, killing people with knives. And like you can do a lot of damage with knives, especially when people are paralyzed with fear, when they trample each other. Like imagine what I would never do anything like this because I don't see any reason to hurt anybody that's not trying to hurt me or my family. You know what I mean? But you got to get in the mindset of somebody who's trying to cause harm to people. You know what I mean? And if you put them in a busy place, and half the people are so playing with their phones and everything, they're not even going to realize the person next to them is getting knifed in the throat. You know what I mean? They're gonna be. That's why in the casino, bro, they just wheeled in the freaking shit, piled it around. They took the dude. You know, the security grabbed dude up after he knifed guy. You know, they probably tased him or maced him or whatever. You know, but everybody else is probably so consumed by the games, and the games are loud too. You've been in a casino before, bro. I mean, you think about it, and then I worry there's going to be copycats of that shit. I don't know why some of these people are so retarded. I can't say that. She keeps telling me I can't say that. I know I can't say that, but I say it anyway. But no, I'm not trying to be offensive, but people are so
fucked up,
easily influenced. Let's say it like that. Okay, that's probably a better way to put it. Easily influenced that they will just absorb this shit and they will go and conduct these acts themselves. I mean, there's already been people lighting themselves on fire, more than one.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's, to me, is crazy. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't advise it. You know what I mean? But I worry about that because it happens every time. You know, as soon as they put it on the news, now it becomes a thing to do. You know? But I don't know, man. I just worry. And out here with, like I said, in certain areas with the district attorneys, they just release these people, no cash, no bond, and they just let them out on the streets again. And it's like, well, they're damn sure not learning their lesson anytime soon.
Well, the system is really not designed for that. You know what I mean? The system is designed to put people away so we don't have to see or deal with them no more.
So here's the thing though. What if I see a guy rushing me with a box cutter or just rushing me?
I don't
like violence. That he's got a box cutter and he's going to attack me?
Yo, I'm not going to advocate for violence, but one of my favorite rappers, Big Daddy Kane, he told it in a rhyme, man. He said, if a rapper try to dish out, crush the motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If somebody comes rushing me, I'm probably going to put my boot in their damn throat. You know what I mean? I'm just going to bam. You know what I mean? Just give them a high kick.
I'm not advocating violence, but Big Daddy Kane said it. And I'm only going to repeat the lyrics that, you know what I mean? I'm only going to repeat the lyrics that Big Daddy said.
You know if you're rushing me, though, if I don't know you.
Do what you got to do.
I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, man.
I don't know. That's what I would advise.
You can't say that no more.
If a rapper try to diss, I'll crush the motherfucker.
And that's you know, but and you want, you know, maybe it's just somebody who thinks they know me. You know what I mean? You know, you got to think about it like that too. It might be just somebody who thinks they know you and they're rushing up to just say hi. You know, you don't know. You don't know. Yeah. Or maybe they called me on here.
Well, I'm glad you're leaving that place, man. I'm hoping you find a place out in the free world, out in Virginia somewhere, in the free world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, Virginia. Yep, Virginia. Yep.
Now, West Virginia's fine, man. He hang out with Bass.
We're looking at a couple of places.
About y'all, right? I'm trying to get Bass to come to the RGAs, man. And me and Tony was like, yo, imagine these two motherfuckers together. But I was like, nah. I was like, nah. Bass is a little bit of a conservative.
Yeah.
I said, can you imagine? But he's feisty as fuck, man. Motherfucker want to fight all the time, man. Like Jesus Christ. Yeah, but I was like, just imagine that shit, man. That should just be funny, man. But he ain't coming.
Yeah. I seen Joe say something about like with the red dot and the optics about putting. Oh shit! I'm like, oh, that's
me.
All right.
Why you in here twice, Darnell?
you said something about putting that in order to co-witness properly, the iron should be in front of the red dot. Now, how many manufacturers of firearms actually design a firearm like that to where
the T9C's like that?
So what? Maybe less than 5?
I think that
my dagger like that. My dagger like that.
It's a Nomad upper.
It's a Nomad upper.
Oh, Nomad.
My dagger is like that. I got a PSA dagger, and it got the sights in front of the red dot.
But I see a lot more moving in that direction in the future.
Okay.
And like I said, it's a lot about just trying different things until you figure out what you like, and then I would outfit whatever your primary weapon is, whether it's your CCW or something that would be your duty weapon, maybe your home defense. I would put the best stuff on that, and then experiment otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Unless you have something. And I think it should go kind of with, if you have a $500 gun, you don't need a $500 optic for that gun necessarily, unless that is your primary. You know what I mean? If that's your primary, then yeah, deck it out with the best optic you can get, I would say,
Yeah, for real, man. I'm putting the dope shit on one gun.
I would definitely do that. And I would make it
two.
one of your, more go-tos or whatever.
It ain't a go-to. It ain't gonna be a go-to because if I'm spending motherfucking $300 on a goddamn flashlight, that bitch better not get a chip on it.
You don't have to spend $600 on a flashlight though. Goon beams.
No.
Goon beams are
but that's my gun. That's my fancy gun. My fancy gun.
I think Goon beams are nice.
Nice flashlight on it and a nice optic on it, and that bitch better not get a chip on it.
Bro, the Goon beam is nice. I actually really like it. Man.
I'm sure it is. But it can't go on the fancy gun.
Research because I don't own a flashlight attached to any of my firearms.
Yeah, and I put the Goon beam on my Smith & Wesson all metal, and I'm really happy with it. And it's got the same footprint as like a T300 or whatever, TX300, whatever it is. It's a typical pistol full size Streamlight pistol light, Ultra 3000, whatever it is. It's a nice light, but I'll tell you what, the Goon beam outshines it. The Goon beam outshines it for real.
Yo,
my bad. Comment section.
Motherfucker turn on, it's all right. But I'm gonna get an X300 joint.
Are they roasting
on one gun, and that bitch better not get a scratch on it.
Y'all can roast me. It's all good.
If I'm spending $300 on a light, that bitch better not get a scratch on it. It ain't no thorn in the mud. It ain't no fucking torture test. That bitch better turn on every time, and it better be beautiful every time, man.
I plan on keeping everything that we have until my last days. So I don't really sell guns. I just get more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's me. I'm with you.
I just keep them. I'm like, I got room.
Now, I just like looking at it, man. That should get a scratch on it after I'm dead, man.
All right. Robot Block made his opinion. He was like, he doesn't think a gun looks good or looks complete. A gun looks incomplete without a light. So, what y'all think about that?
Well,
I got guns. I got guns, right? That don't have optic mounts or rails for a flashlight.
Okay.
And those are some of those few guns. I like them the most. Like as far as the shootability, like the old school, the CZ75, or my Steyr. You know what I mean? I like those the most, and they don't have none of the.
because they're older models before all of this, before it became cool to throw all the accoutrements and attachments on fucking guns. They were just gun. You know what I mean? Shoot this.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah,
gun.
well, like my two CCWs, I got a Shield and a Shield Plus. Neither one of them is milled for an optic or a light. You know what I mean? But they're small. They're CCWs. You know what I mean? They don't, like, you could mill it for either or, and you can buy it optionally that way. But mine are just, plain Jane. I don't know. That's just what I like. And I always have a flashlight on my hip too. And that's kind of good too, because especially if you're in public, you don't necessarily want to be using that light to identify your target, because you may not be in your rights to have a gun pointed at wherever you're pointing it at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In your home, it's a totally different situation. I would
But that shit
recommend.
look fly. It make your gun complete, right? If your gun is that type of gun.
It can offset recoil too, a little bit.
I think
Because you
it
got a
works
little
with
bit more weight
tactical
on the front end, because you got a little bit more weight on the front end of the pistol. So like a lot of your competition shooters and stuff put them on there to offset a little bit of weight, that balance on the front end. But that's kind of like a sly way to get a little adjustment on your pistol, I guess.
Yo, let me be 100, man. I'm gonna do it though, right? But I'm still having funny feelings about a $300 spend on a flashlight.
So don't get a $300 flashlight. Get the $120 flashlight. I'm telling you that Goon Beam is nice. It's brighter than the freaking TX3 Ultra 3000 or whatever the hell it is. And I mean, I think it's of the same build quality. I honestly, if you put them side by side, in fact, I can, I can't go grab them off the guns right now, but I'll do a post where I take a picture of her T9.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to.
And my Leupold side by side, you're going to see they got the pretty much same footprint. And it's basically mimicking that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna put the Goon Beam. I'm gonna put the Goon Beam on the Dagger.
Yeah, try that out first, and then go from there. Maybe
I'm
you'll fall.
No, I'm gonna put the Goon Beam
That's
on
gonna be your thing. Because I'm gonna
Put the
buy
Goon
2
Beam on
rifle
something.
lights. I don't have any rifle lights at the moment. And I'm gonna buy 2 rifle lights from Goon Beam. They come with the whole pressure pad and everything.
Yeah.
And it doesn't say that on the website. I think he's making a mistake there, not putting that on the website, that's included in the package. You know what I'm saying? But it is in there, because I know several people that have bought them and they're really happy with them. So the rifle lights are solid, and they're like, I think they're around like $120, $130, something like that.
Let me tell you what I discovered about
Especially
this
with
light
discount.
shit, right? Let me tell you what
Yeah.
I discovered about the honey over shit and the light shit, right? So Cass was looking at something when she was helping me out with the website, with the channel. And we're looking at, because I don't a lot of people don't know, when you create a YouTube channel, just having a channel is not enough. You kind of like need to find a product and sell that product.
Some
You know
merch
what I
and
mean?
stuff.
So she's Cass stumbled upon a website which you punch in any company and any product according to their SKU, and this website connects you to the OEM manufacturer of this product.
Ooh.
So if I type in, like, say for instance, I type in Streamlight PL1 or whatever the fuck, right? PL1, PL7, or whatever the hell like that. It types you into it connects you to all the OEM manufacturers of this. So,
But here's the one thing about that though. Sometimes they're using cheaper parts on different varieties, and not always, but sometimes there are cheaper like innards on some of those things on one side versus the other. Like over here, we're using
that's the other part that I was going to get into.
Not always.
That's the other part that I was getting into. So you find these manufacturers, right? And you click on the manufacturer. This is where it lost me. This is where it put me on pause. They build, right, to your specs. They build to your specs. So if you want this candela, this board, do you want this board melded, or where the electronics is like wax coated and held in place, or whatever tolerance you want it? They build to suit. whether
Right.
it's optics or whether it's flashlight or whatever electronic equipment you want, or it could be even textile or merchandise, whatever you want. And then once you put that in, you have your minimum buy-in. You know what I mean? So you can buy. They give you the same product. You could get it higher specs than the product, the product that they made for Streamlight, or you can get lesser specs. But you have to make a minimum purchase. You order samples. The sample rate is going to be high, but the sample rate gets credit into your full order if you order from them.
That's
You see
cool.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was kind of crazy. So I sat there, and at the time, this was like before everybody started jumping on Goon Beams, because I was like, damn, so this is how these motherfuckers do it. They just,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, so this is how this is. So a lot of times, you know what I mean? There's very little to no difference, especially when I'm looking at like the optics. Like if you see all the optics are starting to look the same. If you see the shapes of the optics and the houses are starting to look the same,
The
they
big
just contacted the same OME manufacturer. But sometimes
yeah.
they getting less because their volume might be lower or less
Yeah.
quality. You know what I mean? Like the emitters might be a lower emitter, but just as good. They just save somewhere or somehow. But
The
you
biggest
can get
thing, and I
higher or
know
better. You
I
know
know
what I
you're
mean?
going to argue with me about this, Armel, but
I'm
the
not gonna
biggest
argue.
thing that I've noticed with the quality of optics is the glass. And you're going to say, what the fuck do you mean it's glass? Glass is glass,
I'm
glass,
not gonna
glass.
argue with you because it's true.
Like scopes and shit, especially when you get the distance,
Yeah.
you can really see the difference in quality glass versus, and this is from me looking through a lot of different glass. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can really see, and I didn't believe it either until I really started to really see the difference in like the Leopolds versus, you know, the stuff that's coming on a Savage Axis and stuff like that. And pistols, like when you get out the distance
That's
and you're
true.
looking through it, you can really start to see the difference.
I
Up
noticed that
close,
for real, Jason. I noticed that like before my gun hobby, when I had my stupid watch hobby, I was
Yeah.
building watches. The glass
Okay.
was different, like with Swiss glass versus, you know, the Chinese glass or the Vietnamese glass or the cheap ass Connecticut glass, because Connecticut and Delaware make some American style glass. I was noticing a difference. But the fucking Swiss glass and that Japanese shit, that's something different, bro.
It's
It
different.
you can't really tell the difference between Japanese. There is a difference, but most people won't notice. It's the tint.
Well, it's got to do with your eyesight too, right? Like if your
I'm not,
eyesight's
but
better,
I'm
you're
talking
going
about
to
it's
notice
not
it
just the
more.
eyesight.
Probably.
It's just Japanese glass tend to have a specific tint to it. And I
Yeah,
know
like a
that's
groove
just
to
with the
gray.
watches. But I noticed the same people that's making the glass for the higher end watches are the same people that's making the glass for the optics and the optics companies and shit.
And there's
You
a
know what I
difference in
mean?
the strength of the glass too, right?
Yeah, but that Japanese shit is good, bro.
Yeah. Well, there's a
And
lot
how
of
I
high-end
think
scope
uses
makers
a
that are
lot of
Japanese, you know,
yeah.
and
That
stuff. So
Japanese glass is that shit is something else, bro.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And it's cheaper. It's significantly cheaper than Swiss glass.
yeah,
It's
yeah. I mean,
significantly
I'm just like I said, I've just been getting into it mostly in the last year, you know, maybe 2 years total.
But there
even
is a
with
difference,
rifle.
though.
And
There is
I'm
a
really
difference.
starting to notice because I'm looking through a lot of stuff, you know, shooting with different people, you know, just experimenting. And I don't care what it is you hand it to me. I don't care if it's a damn high point. I'll shoot it. I don't care. You know what I mean? As long as it's solid. You know what I mean? I like to try out everything. I'll shoot some straight hot garbage if it, you know, just for the comparison.
Right.
Yeah, but there's a difference. But you're gonna have to cut cord. You're gonna have to cut cord somehow. You know what I mean? The glass.
Yeah.
You know, it's more than just the glass material itself. It's the shape of the glass. It's a whole lot of different shit that go into it. And maybe
And what
Joe
are you doing with the gun? You know, what are you doing with the gun?
Hey,
What's the
so this
intention?
is
And that's the exact thing. That's the
Yeah.
exact thing. What are you doing with it? My shit just sitting here looking pretty, bro.
Sealies, you know
Yo.
what I mean?
My shit sitting here looking pretty, bro. My shit beautiful, bro. I
Yeah.
wish I could show it on the screen. My shit beautiful. I clean my guns all the time, bro.
Yeah.
I wipe the grease off of my shit. my shit be
I don't
looking.
clean them all the time, but I clean them every.
I do clean them. I clean mine all the time. The only gun I have problems with is fucking HK's shit. Them shit scratching. You can't buff the scratch out.
Man,
You know
them
what I mean?
scratches are like
You can't
it's-
buff the
it's-
scratches out.
that's
You know what I mean?
character, man. That's what do they call
I don't
that?
want no character. I want the shit to look beautiful. I don't want
Well,
no
tell me
fucking
your guns
character.
when they get scratched.
gotta look nice.
Give me
You
the
need
scratch
for it
and
to
then
look nice
sale.
for no reason.
I just want to look nice, man. And I want to pick it up in a shoot and it's good and put it down. You know what I mean?
I don't
That
care
shit-
what they look like, man. I
That's
really
your
don't.
style.
I mean, most of my guns are just black and green anyway, so if they get scratches on them and stuff,
how
that's,
would you define
that's
your
like, I don't
style?
know. That builds character in the weapon to me. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
How
Like,
would you define your style? How would you define your style?
just tactical and practical mostly. You know, I'm not buying. You know, I've got a couple guns that are over $1,000. I got one that's over 2,000. Shanna's got one that's like $2,000. But for the most part, most of my guns are like $600 to $1,000. You know what I mean? I'm pretty reasonable.
The dollar
I got
sign
a lot of
shit
guns
matter.
though, because like I said, I don't sell them. I just get more. If I buy it,
price
I
shouldn't
intend
matter.
it's like having a dog. I keep it for its lifetime. You know what I mean? Or at least mine. They got to go somewhere eventually, but I don't know, man.
The price doesn't matter, you know, but what's your style? The price and style is two totally different
Smith
things.
and Wesson, tactical, practical, Rugers. I mean, I've got a little bit of variety. I got one Glock. You know what I mean? Just because I got to have a Glock. You know what I mean?
You don't gotta have a
one.
Glock.
And I got a
Ain't no rule.
PCC and a PC that run Glock mags, so I kind of like that I can run the same mag between those and stuff. You know, I mostly Smith and Wessons and Rugers though. Really, is mostly what I buy.
I'm asking the chat. What's your gun style? What's your gun style? Anybody in the chat? Tell me what's your style. You know what I mean? Jason's is tactical, practical. Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you
I
clear.
can hear you.
I'm buffering. Tony,
Yeah.
your style is unique. You know what I mean? You like to have an eclectic type thing. Y'all still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I froze. I'm gonna have to go to my incognito mode.
There you go. You're still talking though, so
Yeah. It kind of fits the position that you're screaming at.
we wouldn't have known if you hadn't told us.
Hey.
We wouldn't have known.
Yeah, niggas funny.
Yo.
Yeah, but what's your style though? Anybody in chat? Joe Va, what's your style?
Joe Va is the
Joe Va, the truck full of gun guy.
That's the way I pull up. That's
This
the way
guy
I pull
ever
up.
get pulled over by the police. Yeah. Oh my God.
I took the guys out shooting at work a couple weeks ago, and man, we went through like $500 in ammo. I had like, I don't know, 20-some guns out there on the table. We were having fun, but I wanted to, those guys haven't shot a lot of guns. They got a few things here and there, but they haven't shot a lot of stuff. So I brought a lot out. We were having fun.
Look, Q his poster said his replies that I just like guns.
Yeah.
He ain't lying. He
Yeah.
ain't lying.
That too. I mean, like, I'm not hating on nobody's gun either, because like, even if you got tiger stripes on your gun and they're hot pink and blue, I can appreciate it. It's just not for me necessarily. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's how I feel about it.
I mean, I'd like to have like a gold chopper. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like a gold
I do
chopper.
that, yeah.
I would put one in the safe. I don't know if I'd see the price tag though.
Yeah, no thank you.
And it's not really like a good investment, I don't think, because it's really personalized to you more than anybody else. You know what I mean? Like when you do that, and that's the thing about it, I would keep all my original parts and stuff. If I modified my gun, just put them in a bag somewhere, because honestly, usually long term, you're going to get more money out of that firearm if it's factory.
Oh,
If
yeah, I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not really a good investment strategy typically.
Armel, we can't hear you.
I hear you.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm not selling shit, so it doesn't even matter. My stuff is seriously willed out, passed down to those who have showed interest. If I die tomorrow, my nephew got it because he the only one who showed like serious interest. He come in here and he'll mess with it and play with it. He picked his selection out, you know what I mean? But what he don't know is he gets everything, you know what I mean?
He just
That's
won the
what's up.
gun
That's
lottery.
You
Hopefully
know,
not. If he listening tonight, he all like, yo, thank
Hey,
you.
yo.
he ain't listening, but he gets my nephew gets everything because he's the only one that shows the appreciation
Yeah.
that it
Well, they
went
gotta be
that went into
responsible,
it.
that's for
You know
sure.
what I mean?
Like, if you're
And
gonna,
he
you're gonna
does
pass
his little
something to somebody.
research, and he's a calculative thinking. Like I took him to the gun store. It's not what I like or what was dope or what he heard was dope. It's what on his own he figured out what feels good in his hands. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I took him to the gun store. He gonna pick out some fucking SAR 9 shit. I was like, put that bullshit down. But it's what he liked. You know what I mean? It felt good in his hands out of all the stuff. We went to X-Cal, so you know he had a selection. He pick up play with every fucking thing. And that's what he picked out. What would be, because the question was, what would be your first gun that you were to pick? So, and they were pretty nice in X-Cal. Them motherfuckers is hustlers. They sell you anything in there. They put shit in your hand. What you want to yeah, yo, you want to fuck? He said you want a motherfucking Nighthawk Kurt revolver with the motherfucking Comet goddamn grip. Here, the asteroid grip. Shit. Here, touch it, feel it. We'll sell it to you. But
Thank you.
yeah, they hustlers in that bitch. So they gave him a lot of attention, let him play with everything, touch everything. They was patient with him. Mind you, at the time he was 16. It was this past summer. He was 16. But the shit he picked out, I'm like, I'm questioning, but it's not me. And he showed appreciation. I like the way it fit in my hand. I like the way the trigger pull, and that was without any influence from anybody else.
Well, that's like me. I like the Smith & Wesson grip better than any other pretty much gun because the way they've got it so you can pull out that back piece and you can put in a different one for different size hands and all that. You know, that's leaps and bounds above a lot of manufacturers. There's a few others that do it. You know, I think Shanna's T9C also has that with the back strap you can replace and make it, you know, it's like a little bit wider and thicker, you know, and like, yeah. But anyway,
come like that.
Yeah, but like some people complain about, like, I don't understand what, like, for me, it fits my hand the best. You know, a lot of people don't like it, but for me, it fits my hand the best. You know, I believe there's probably somebody that a High Point fits their hand the best. You know what I mean? For whatever reason.
Yeah.
Maybe you got a block hand like in Minecraft or something. You know what I mean? And that's just what you like.
I think for what I like, the best thing that fit was I try and I don't have it yet, but it was actually the next gun that I was purchasing was the VP9.
Yeah,
because those fucking HKs, man, you change those grips into it's perfect. So you got the side panels and the back panels.
Yeah.
So you adjust them to yours, and the combination is fucking endless.
But what's the price tag on that?
$6.
Okay.
600?
That's comparable.
$6 and some change.
But like I even like the trigger in the Smith & Wesson, and a lot of people don't like that, but I do. You know what I mean? It's just what feels best to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They're like,
and
they're
weird.
like
it's weird. It's totally selective.
Like
my finger's different
$5.99.
than your finger. My hand's different than your hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're like $5.99. They're cheaper than the Walter, the FN, and the other shit. They're significantly cheaper, and that's what I think it was a good buy. Yeah, they're cheaper than FN and Sig. And
what, the Smith & Wesson?
The HK is cheaper than it's the same price as probably a Smith & Wesson.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think you're probably about 600 in for a brand new 2.0 most times. You could probably get it for $5. You know what I mean?
You could probably get an HK for like $5 and some change, but it's
especially on sale
hovers around that $650, $699. A VP9, it hovers around that $650 because it's like one of those Glock competitors.
Yeah.
So it's priced at that. But the Walter PDP costs more. That fucking piece of shit Echelon costs more.
I haven't shot one
I
yet.
don't own one. I don't own one. But I was just like, everybody was talking about it when it first came out, right? So I go to the store. I go to the Ace Hardware, and Ace Hardware had it. You know what I mean? I'll go to Ace Hardware. Ace Hardware had it. And I was kept looking at the VP9, and I was like, let me see a comparison. The Echelon was like $750 when it dropped. And the VP9 was $650, so it was $100 difference for an inferior fucking weapon that costs more. It just felt the plastic, the polymer doesn't feel. It didn't like take that shit. You know,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You
And
paying
it
for
probably
the hype.
performed
You're not
very
paying
well.
for the gun. You're paying for the hype.
Well, I was shooting a Savage Axis the other day, 30-06, right? And the magazine, not the gun, but the magazine felt cheap. Like it was like the cheapest magazine that I've ever felt. And I've got a couple Ruger Precisions, you know, and they feel pretty solid, you know. I mean, I don't know if they're my favorite magazine yet. I haven't shot them that much, but they're pretty solid. But that Savage Axis, man, that thing leaves something to be desired, you know. And I think they have like a Predator line that's a lot better. You know what I'm saying? From what I understand. And Yoki was doing a video on it. I haven't shot the Predator yet, but I'm going to look for one to shoot. But if the magazine feels cheap, I don't like it. And that's another thing about the Smith & Wesson mags. They're all metal mags. You know what I mean? They're pretty solid. Like I haven't had really any malfunctions I had a 22 that was malfunctioning that I had to buy an extractor for that worked better, like an aftermarket Volquartsen extractor. But the extraction pattern now on that thing is like, it's sweet. I mean, you wouldn't believe, you know, like those Volquartsen parts. If you put like an extractor or like a firing pin in some of your guns or whatever, if you're having a little bit of malfunction issues, that can make a world of difference, man.
What up?
That's what I looked into was like, what are people doing to solve the problem? Because now we got this internet thing, right? And you can go into all kinds of gun forums and stuff. Like it was one that we bought used, and that's why I can't even fault the thing because I don't know what somebody did with it before. But we bought one used for Shanna because I already had one MP 1522, and mine always ran great, but hers was malfunctioning right after we bought it, and I was like, how can I fix this easy? You know, and I got on there and started typing in, you know, how do I fix this? And it said, get a different extractor, try that. And so I just went with a higher end part. And now that thing it runs like a top.
Y'all don't see me, do y'all?
Not right now.
I see you.
You're like Tupac.
Yeah. We still see you. We see you.
Yeah, I can see you.
Yeah, I can see what you're doing.
See me, what I'm doing.
Thanks,
yeah, we can see what you're doing. We can see. You gotta cut your what you call it?
Block your camera out.
Yeah.
Oh, did he? What's up, Bobo?
You can't see no firearms, could y'all?
I mean, I can see whatever you just put down to your left hand. I can't tell what it is.
Okay, good.
Hold on, let me blow up the screen on this. Let's see.
Fuck you, Tony.
Oh yeah, that shit clear as day. Yeah, I see that.
How you been, Tony?
Yo, not bad, bro.
Yeah.
Today was another work. Well, I work Saturdays, but today we did me and the wife did a work seminar together. So we went and did some education for people, and that was pretty cool. It's been a while since we normally been doing stuff separately, so doing stuff together was kind of cool today.
That's awesome.
How about you?
Just trying to get ready to sell this house, trying to move closer to everybody else, you know. Looking forward to that. Shannon and I are looking to hopefully retire. We're just going to try to pay off a piece of property with the, you know, money from us selling this place, and hopefully just live out our days and enjoy our lives is the plan.
Damn, homie. Come on. Thanks, Armel. Appreciate you. OnlyFans.
What's wrong with you? Roll ass down. Hey, are you coming to RGA's?
Yes. We
all right.
We driving up on. We'll be there Thursday.
Okay, we'll see you there then.
Yes, sir.
I can't wait, brother.
Oh man, heck yeah, same. We had so much
Yeah, I was
fun.
telling Smashing that Bass, man. He fucking playing, man. I said,
Yeah.
this is the event. I was selling Integrity too. So your ass need to
Yeah.
fucking roll up. Integrity talking about a concert with some comedian, man. I was like, man, you catch a comedian concert the whole time.
Do that anytime. This
Yeah,
is
you do catch a
only one
comedian
weekend.
anytime.
Ooh.
I got my shoes. My suit's supposed to be here on Tuesday. So, because I'm gonna show out again. You know how I am.
Sir, that's why you do it.
I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to do the damn thing. You know, we're gonna have fun though. I guarantee you that. I think we're gonna fly this time, so I have to leave my moonshine at home.
No, you gotta ship it. You gotta ship it in the mail.
Nah, I'll just get some Tito's. We'll rock out. It's good. It's not quite as good, but it's good.
I see what I can do. I see if I contact my uncle Junebug, see if he can give me some of that apple moonshine or something.
Yeah. Uncle Junebug comes through. It's gonna be
Yo,
trouble.
that like sake plum wine.
What's that?
Plum wine.
Plum wine? I mean, I've had it before. Yeah. Yeah, I've had a lot of different kinds
What
of
about
sake.
the plum wine
I think
sake
sake is
mix?
usually rice wine, isn't it?
Yeah, the plum wine sake mix.
Oh,
Okay.
Mixy.
Mixy. Yeah, I'll mess with it.
Yo, I did not know that there was so many brands of sake. I went to this restaurant here right off of Connecticut Avenue in DC. And dude, they gave us a sake menu and just had at least 100 different flavors or styles of sake brands.
Some of those sakes are high test too. Some of them.
My homeboy Lou gave me a bottle of sake. I ain't crack open yet. Tony met him. Yeah, he gave me a bottle of sake that somebody bought him from Japan. It bought him a case of it from Japan that he gave to me, and I still ain't touched that shit. Because the last time I was drinking it with him, that shit was heavy.
Some of that stuff is, man.
It's too critical for me, man.
When you feel it get warm, you know, you feel that warmth go down, and then your stomach's warm, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, Lou gave me a bottle of that Japanese sake. That shit was like, it was plum wine sake. So it was flavored sake with plum wine. So that shit was like that Alizé with vodka and daggone cognac mix. That shit too much.
Some of it's delicious though too. Some of it is really delicious.
That shit ain't delicious. That shit will fuck you
up.
up.
Some of the sake, I'm saying. There's some sakes that are
I'm talking
really
about
good.
Alizé, that shit'll kill you.
Alizé. I haven't had that stuff in 10, 20 years. I don't know. It's had to have been that long.
Hey, so is it a difference between having sake cold or warm? I mean, I thought it was
warm.
only
It's easier. Warm. It's easier to. It goes down easier when it's warm. Like when they heat it. Motherfucking cold is like pure fucking vodka. Like that shit that'll burn your ass up. Bro.
Germans say that about beer too. They drink their beer warm. They're kind of weird.
Warm goes down easier. Warm goes down easier. I'm talking about what. A lot of people drink their beer warm. I even drink my beer warm, but I'm a beer drinker. So that shit don't even, I drink beer, bro.
But
so
define warm, like
cold, I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be ice cold, but I like it to be at least cold. I don't like
ice cold. The problem with ice cold beer is it takes a lot of them. You know what I mean? The warmer it is, the more, the less you have to drink. Cold beer make me piss, bro.
Is that true?
Cold beer make me piss.
I don't know if that's true.
Because that's like if I'm going to the bathroom, bro.
Water in the gun, the hollow points will blow up.
Right?
What he said?
Yeah, can't get the hollow points wet.
Yeah, you can't get the hollow points.
Who said that shit? What's his name, man?
The Detroit
Detroit dude. What's his name, man?
RGG, MGG.
Johnny Gun Game.
What the fuck his name?
Johnny
Gun Game. Yo, that's Jason homeboy. Johnny Gun Game. But for real, let me tell you this. This is science, and we're gonna put this on Trinity Arm channel, right? If you ever in the shits right? If you ever really in the shits, I sent Joe Vod some videos. I asked Joe Vod, was it true? But then I did some research and found out that, yeah, it was true. If you ever, in this war situation that everybody pretending to be in, and motherfuckers, the goons is after you, jump in the water to evade them. If they, the goons coming to shoot at you. Because once the projectile hits the water, the bigger the projectile, it breaks as soon as it hits the water. Pistol projectiles that's traveling like subsonic, they may go like 2 feet in before they sink. They lose all of their water, kills all the bullets velocity.
I do know that, but I think probably certain calibers would push through that, though. I would assume.
Yeah,
No.
I mean,
The bigger the caliber, the more supersonic the caliber, the faster it breaks.
Yeah.
The smaller the less subsonic the caliber, like a 22 or a 9mm, it goes about 2 feet before it loses energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I don't know the specifics on all that, but I would assume if I shot my 338 Lapua into the water, I would assume it would go.
It ain't going nowhere.
You don't think it's going anywhere?
It ain't going anywhere. It's going to break as soon as it hits the water.
Sound like some science to me. I think we about to.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would depend on the tip of your projectile too, because if you have
it's not so much the chip. Like some Germans and shit, they created in the U.S. They created hydroponic bullets, but it wasn't the caliber of the bullets, but it was a shape so the water could swirl around it.
Well, that's what I think. Like a hollow point is gonna definitely have less penetration in the water or anything.
Well, if a hollow point hits the water, if the hollow point hits the density of the water, it's just gonna shroom and sink.
Right, but what if you have like a brass round?
Yo, man, I'm not Bill Nye, the science guy.
Yo, I
right?
That's what I'm saying.
But
because
we're gonna do the research on it too. You know what I mean? So stay tuned. If y'all ain't subscribed to Trinity Arms and Gear, man. If y'all not subscribed to Trinity Arms and Gear, man, we're gonna be doing some shit on there, and we might shoot into some water. And Jova put his GoPro in the water because I ain't putting my shit in.
Like Fort Scott, I believe most of it's brass tips, right? Brass projectiles, right?
Right.
So I'm thinking that's gonna not do what lead's gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Because it's you have to get it hotter to pour it into a mold. So it's not going to just form, you know what I mean? It's not going to conform as easily when it hits the water. It's
not the conformity. It's not it's actually the material and the denseness of the water. So the harder you hit the water, the more it breaks it. You know what I mean? Because air is less dense than water. And water is like 8,000 times more dense than air. So
we'll try some Fort Scott ammo too, just to see. Try some Fort Scott ammo too, just to see. It's a little pricey.
They said the lower the caliber, the more it travels through the water. The bigger the caliber, the more likely it is to explode. The hydraulic ammunition, it has fins on it, so that's why they have those spear guns. It has fins on it to help it travels through the water.
But when you say caliber, now you've got a difference between casing on some rounds and the projectile too.
We're talking about the projectile.
You know what I'm saying? So like if you have a large, so it's going to be moving a lot faster with a larger casing because you're going to have more powder. With a smaller projectile, you're going to obviously have an advantage over something. You know what I mean? The opposite of that.
The faster it's traveling,
that's what I'm saying. There's going to be a lot of variation.
The faster it is, from what I've been reading, the faster it is, the more likely it is to. The more likely it is. Here we go. The professor wants to come in, so I'm.
I need to know salt water, because my question is it salt water or is it fresh water?
It doesn't matter. It's the density of the water.
I mean, salt water is more dense.
It is more dense. Like if you went to the Red or the Great Salt or Salt Sea or whatever it is,
it's like you swinging in the air and then you hit a wall. There's a significant difference. If you swinging in the air, you got less friction. If you hit the wall, you're like, oh shit. And water is that shit in between.
Yo, we got. I hate it, but I don't know. Your explanation was wild.
Yeah.
You got gas. It's fluid dynamics, right? So you
I
got
got you.
you got gas, you got liquid, and you got solids. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yes.
Yeah, but there's different consistency as liquids too.
Right? They're different consistencies, but we're talking about one liquid, and that liquid is water.
Yeah, but
H2O.
if you take a cup of water and you put 6 pounds of salt in it, you're gonna have still water.
the
but
salt is going to make the water even more dense.
That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what are they shooting at? Like, if I go jump in a fresh lake, like Lake Erie or something, versus if I go into the Atlantic Ocean, I would think that projectile will be
The Atlantic
smaller.
is more dense
Yeah.
than the Pacific, but the
Hey,
shit ain't
hey.
going more than 2 feet anyway.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, so speaking about shooting into those mediums, right? So the one thing about water, the water molecule doesn't compress, right? So that's why if you do a belly flop on water, it hurts like hell, right? On the side of the roads, they got water-filled barrels to absorb the impact when cars run off, right? So if you ever notice, at gun clearing barrels, that barrel's full with water, right? At when people test guns to shoot, that barrel is filled with water. When they do forensics to get the bullet, to examine it, that barrel is filled with water. Water doesn't compress. So what it does is, as that bullet goes through it, it just stops it, like Armel says, because the water molecule is like a triangle, right? So you got your oxygen and your 2 hydrogen atoms. It doesn't compress, right? So that's why, like, if you hit someone, you slap someone with a towel full with water or a water bottle, or if you don't have any weapons and they give you, you can have like a soda bottle, fill it up with water and hit someone with it. It doesn't compress and it hurts like hell. I didn't say that. So the rounds that they developed to shoot underwater, they're more like a flechette type rounds. They're more like arrows and everything else because of the hydraulics and aerodynamics and everything else, right? That's one of the reasons why you think you can float a ship on water, right? Because of displacement, right?
Buoyancy, displacement.
Yeah, buoyancy
Balance,
and
they call
displacement, primarily displacement and everything else. Your buoyancy, you start talking about how much of an object you want above the water line and where you want it, and that's like my other nerdy stuff. But like even the 338 Lapua, right? The high caliber things. There's a certain amount of water. I can get you the formula that shows like where it's going to stop just based off of the density and everything else. Your solid brass, like Fort Scott, they make solid brass and solid copper. All your solid monolithics, everything else, they're still going to get stopped by water. So the cool thing about water,
depth though, at the same depth though.
no, and it's based on velocity, bullet weights. Physics still applies.
I'm just thinking like lead's more pliable. Like, right, if I take a hammer and take a piece of lead and lay it on the ground, I could smush it flat with a hammer.
Yeah, lead is very soft. It's going to do the same thing because the water has the same consistency and density and everything else, right? So it's like when we see these videos of people shooting water jugs and you see that really, really violent explosion, that's because that water is not compressing, right? And it's just pushing out of that medium. But so if you got a stronger medium, that bullet's going to stop, right? How many times we've seen a video where someone shot into a milk jug filled with water, and that bullet was still within the jug, right? It didn't pass through the jug. What is that telling you? Water stops bullets.
Right.
Now,
I know it stops.
That's normally like sometimes. I mean, the ones that I've saw, it was like 5 or 6 gallon jugs.
Yeah, and again, that's because of the plastic in a jug, right? Because if you got that water and you're pushing it, if that water has more force than going through the container that's holding it, it's going to stop it, right?
Yeah.
It's like if I take a knife and I stab you in your t-shirt, and if I stab you with a knife and you got in your t-shirt, you're gonna bleed like a stuck pig. If you have on a Kevlar vest, you're still gonna get stuck because the fibers are going to spread out. But if you have on a vest that's specifically designed for stab resistance, ain't nothing going to happen. So if I got a metal 55-gallon drum, right, that hydrostatic shock's not going to penetrate or perforate that metal drum. That makes any sense?
Yeah.
But every caliber is the same.
No. So
No.
the thing of it is, so some of your calibers exert more kinetic energy, so you just get bigger test barrels. You know, you get a little bit more water. But basically, after about 3 or 4 feet, you know, the bullet, you really don't have to worry about getting hit by the bullet, because remember also, right, the bullet's going to get deflected, right? If you ever shot through a medium, you never shoot straight, right? So there's an angle of deflection, right,
Yeah.
in solid mediums, right?
Trajectory's off.
If you ever shoot through a car glass window, like a windshield, because it's sloped, right? So even like shooting down in water, right, you got parallax. So as I'm looking in water, like, have you ever like jumped into a pool because like you lost a watch or whatever, and he's like, it's right there, and then you go in the water and it's not right there? That's that parallax. So you know, like yeah, just basically and shit. You know, water is great. You can also use water. I know we were talking about this, Tony Macaroni. You go ahead, you get the explosives. Go ahead, get a motherfucking IV bag, put that bitch up there. Boom, blow the hinges off the door, because water doesn't compress. Right? Do it, man. Find someone like you. I'm not gonna say you don't like them, but find someone you want to test it on. Go get a 24-ounce Coke bottle, fill it up with water, and don't fill it all the way up. Leave about that much space in it, and just hit them with it. And as that water's going in, it'll hit, and it hit hard, man. Knock a motherfucker out and shit.
From what
I
I've
see
seen,
that
from what I've seen, those flechette. I couldn't remember the name of the actual type of
Yeah, the
bullets
flechette
it
rounds.
was. Those flechettes that they made, they like little needle things. Those do better than bullets in water, like shooting through water. But from what I seen was, out of all the bullets, they shot 50 cows, all kinds of shit in the water, right? Mythbusters, if y'all ever watch that show, they on YouTube too. The motherfucker, a 9mm went the furthest, and that shit was like 1.5 feet in the water.
Yeah.
They shot 50 cows, all kinds of crazy shit. And that shit, as soon as the bullet hit the water, exploded.
I would think your calibers like 300 blackout and stuff would perform better though. But I don't know.
Wasn't. The bigger, the faster, the more likely it was.
So what it is, right? So physics still applies even underwater. So you got this thing that's called sectional density, and you got surface area, right? So the more surface area you got, the more resistance and drag it's going to create, right? So again, because water doesn't decompress, now I'm moving this big mass through this water that's not compressing, versus moving a smaller mass through, through it and everything. It's counterintuitive, like really.
Shit. So you mean to tell me, I ain't gonna lie to you, I was laughing my ass off at Johnny Gun Game. Now I gotta go apologize to this dude.
Don't apologize. That's some bullshit. The rain is not good water.
So what he said,
the rain is not water in solid state.
Yeah. So what he said isn't exactly true, right? Because it's weird, right? Hey, Armel, I'm gonna try and share my screen. All right.
Yeah, you put it in the private chat.
Well, yeah, I can show you. I can do a video, or I can share my screen. Here, I'm gonna put it. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the private chat, man, and then you can share it.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Hold up, bro, because I got to figure out how to work this. I'm not Ray. I don't know how to work these shits. Share screen.
All right. So you want me to share screen, or you want me to?
Go ahead. Share screen. Share screen. I don't know how to do this shit. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. There you go.
All right. So you see this right here? So these guys are actually shooting a handgun underwater. Right. And it's not like like the best scientific method. But you see where the bullet ended, right? And you notice it really didn't go straight or anything like that.
Yeah, it had a curve to it.
Yeah. And then like once they get the video, so you see, right? It doesn't really go that far.
Is that a 9 or do we not know?
I'm not
that's
sure.
It kind of looks like it,
So,
but
you see how that bullet tumbled and everything else,
yeah.
right? So that tumble, I would say, what, less than 6 inches from the barrel, call it
Yeah.
a foot from the barrel, and it just kind of went all Willy Wonka. So, I mean, and that's just one of those things. So modern day ammunition is capable of being immersed in water because you got sealants and everything's pressed and everything else. But just firing them underwater, they're not designed to do that. It's like throwing a football sideways.
It's not just AK. I think it was FN Integrity that invented that. It wasn't even FN that invented that. What's that round that's called with the F? Vasco rounds, those needle-looking things with fins on them.
It's a flechette round. But you see how far that one went?
Flechettes, Integrity.
Yeah, flechette. It's a flechette round.
Flechettes go through fucking water.
Yeah, flechette. Flechette's like an arrow, right? You got the fins on them and everything else, right? So think of it like a unpowered harpoon missile or torpedo, right? That's probably like the best thing to think of, right? But yeah, man.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
if them boys is on you, jump in the water. I hope y'all know how to swim, bro.
Yeah, but you gotta stay under the water though.
Right.
You have to do,
come up for air.
Listen, you stay under the water and get distance.
Yeah.
Come up, get some air, get distance.
That might not be a bad plan.
Or fuck it, buy you a rebreather. Shit. Fuck.
What if you're in Baltimore?
I'll walk around with one of those.
What if you're in Baltimore though? You don't want to jump in the water there.
I don't give a fuck if a motherfucker shooting at you, deal with the water later.
I don't know, man.
Hold on. Hey, what rounds are you guys shooting? So that way I know how far to go in.
Yeah.
Hey, so I mean,
swimming like Dory.
Those French rounds, man. I'm getting some flechettes just for cats that want to jump.
In case somebody's now you're gonna have to carry extra mag though.
Yeah, just for cats that want to jump in the water. Oh, I'd be like, I'm like, look at this fool. He think he done got away.
we just convinced Armel he needs to carry an extra mag though. So
just one mag with flechettes, man. I want to be like the movies and shit. Had that shit just travel through the water. Flechette is like a mini harpoon or some shit like that.
Yeah. Hey, Integrity, I just dropped link to an article from DNL Sports. They did some independent testing about shooting various firearms underwater and everything else. And again,
underwater it's a totally different thing. I'm talking about what I don't want y'all to get this messed up. I'm talking about shooting around from the air into the water.
Yeah, but it's
underwater. The gun plays a factor in that. Yeah. Where some guns can't take the pressure of the water, and that shit is crazy. Because it affects the gun, the round, the ammunition, everything.
Once that bullet goes into the water, it's the same thing. That the water is going to stop it. So it's just like when you walk into the mess hall overseas and they got a weapons clearing barrel, or the cops got the weapons clearing barrel, it's filled with water. It's the same thing. That's why they use water. Water doesn't the density of water compared to air is so many times more, and it doesn't compress. So that's like you're gonna be asked.
And another thing I was looking at concerning this whole thing. Remember the John Wick body armor where his suit was like crazy?
Yeah.
From what I found out, right from YouTube. That technology, this is just YouTube. It might be sci-fi, but that technology works because they use like liquids that's even more dense than water.
Yeah. So actually, that technology.
smart liquids that change density, that increase density upon impact.
That
So this
technology
shit is really out here, yo.
Yeah, that technology, but bullet resistant clothing has existed for a long time. Because even back in the ancient days, they used to use silk with a real tight weave to prevent injuries from arrows. And if you know anything about ballistics and wounding, a knife, an edged weapon, a knife or an arrow generates more force, pounds per square inch, and foot pounds per square inch than a bullet, right? Just because of you got something really, really pointy that's going in, where your bullets are, kind of broader and everything else. So that's been around. Now, the secondary thing you have to deal with is the blunt force trauma, because you don't have a hole in you, but like your pleura has just been separated from your lungs just because of all the impact.
Yeah, Integrity said HK invented the underwater pistol in 1976, which uses the 7.62 by 36 flechette. But that's what I was talking about, the flechette. The flechette itself, the pistol that HK invented, from what I'm reading, that pistol was something that shoots underwater with the gun. But the flechette round was made by them French motherfuckers from FN or whatever the fuck. The round itself, not that particular round, but they've been using that for years.
Flechettes have been used for centuries.
Yeah,
they just compacted and put in the firearm. So that build was actually for the German GSG-9, their anti-terrorism dudes, right? Because back during the 70s, you had so much terrorists, and one of the things was waterborne interdictions, scuba teams going up on boats and snatching dudes and everything else, like the Jason Bourne shit, So if you had to disable a boat from getting away, you don't want to put a limpet mine on it, because if you got divers in the water, you're going to fuck your divers up because they can't get far enough away from when that mine goes off, and you still want to get on the boat. So you just shoot a hole in the boat. And that's one of the reasons why they came up with that.
Or you could have mermaid ops, though, too.
Take it from a fucking Marine. Take it from
Marsoc wasn't invented then, Jason.
Could have mermaid ops.
Marsoc wasn't invented then.
Some sirens or something. I don't know.
Yo, take that shit from Marines and mermaids. I don't know what the fuck you got a mermaid tattoo, man.
I ain't got no mermaids, man.
Yeah,
yo, these machetes are dangerous, yo. These things are freaking dope.
One time I dated a rainbow trout, but that was a long time ago.
Fuck you. Yo, Bovo, what up, baby?
Yo.
What's good? What's good?
What's up?
What's up, Bovo?
Chilling. Everybody good?
I'm as good as I'm gonna get.
Yo, this is crazy.
Hey,
what's crazy, man?
These machete rounds. I think I want some.
Drop another link in the chat. So check this out. And I'll drop it here in the private chat. So here's another pretty good article too. And they have the gun that Integrity was talking about.
Yo, you see we got these rocket scientists in here, baby. You know what I mean? Yo, that's why if y'all not subscribed to Trinity Arms and Gear, y'all better come, because this is the hood shit. That's that real shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to Trinity Arms and Gear, man.
For real, man. And we watch this content that we pull up from North Carolina next week. Oh, not from my undisclosed location.
Yo, they got 12 gauge machete rounds. Shells.
Hey, someone take Tony Macaroni's internet away from him.
Yo, I'm buying these joints.
Hey, why you about to
bullshit? What you gonna buy them for, to go fishing?
Hey,
Yo,
Hey,
so
Armel, why you about to bullshit? All Tony Macaroni needs is a cat. He'll be a black Dr. Evil.
in these joints.
Shark
That
Yo, they
motherfucker
got
got
the
happy
12
Dr.
gauge, they got
Evil.
the 14.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo,
And
this
check
about
this here, they also got flechettes that penetrate helmets. Flechettes rounds is also effective for body armor because they're so thin. They're like needles with fins.
Yep.
They shred fucking body armor.
Yeah. So again, here's the thing about that, right? A lot of your anti-personnel weapons and everything else, they got sub-caliber munitions in them, and those are flechettes. They're not doing the killing by explosives. They're doing it by high velocity flechettes that penetrate skin and body armor and everything else. So hit me up. I'll
The first time I learned about flechettes, this flechette thing, and I couldn't remember the word because it's been too many years, was what's the name? I was doing my surface warfare thing, and they was teaching me about close-in weapon systems,
Sea-Wiz. Good old Sea-Wiz.
you know what I mean? So when I was working on my surface warfare pen, Shanna always reminds me of this every time I see her. When I was working on my surface warfare pen, I learned about close-in weapon system, which is Sea-Wiz, which is the Gatling gun on top of the ships that takes out
R2D2.
aircraft, that takes out anything that gets too close that the missile systems can't take out. They use a 25 millimeter gun with flechettes in it to fucking destroy anything. So the gun hits it, but the flechettes go in there. They have uranium diffused flechettes that penetrates most shit and explode when it gets inside.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
so your depleted uranium rounds, same thing on the 30 Mike Gatling gun that's on the A10 and everything else. What makes them so dangerous is it's not that they're explosive, it's just that the kinetic energy that's transferred. Remember, uranium is a very dense metal, right? So when you're accelerating something that dense and that kinetic energy, so it's just like right now, right? The next round of weapons that's being worked on is your rail guns, right? Your electromagnetic pulse guns, right? And it doesn't have any explosives in it. It's just all off of sheer velocity and mass. So you're accelerating the mass so fast that it creates so much kinetic energy it can pierce tank armor.
Excuse me, guys. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back.
So, Dr. Evil, you good? So I see you thinking over there, man.
He over there looking at that damn ammunition.
Hey, so I gotta go buy a shotgun because the flechette rounds, like in the shells, the shotgun shells, it can mess up your barrel and scratch up the barrel a little bit. But
and so that's one of those things. Do you get a rifle barrel or smooth barrel and everything else? But a shotgun barrel is cheap. Just swap it out.
Yeah.
Yo, Bobo, your brain in there thinking too. What you got on your mind?
Well, I don't unleash the Dr. Evils of the world.
I'm getting some of these. Right, I'm getting some of these shells. I'm getting these.
I think that's something a lot of people sleep on is shotguns, man. Shotgun is so versatile, and so many people they just really sleep on what a shotgun is and what it's capable of.
And you know what? I don't even own one. I don't even own one. I don't own one.
Also, speaking about shooting a gun into water, right? Remember what I said about water doesn't decompress? If you ever look at like the back of, like, they used to have it on a lot of ammunition boxes, the warnings, and it reads, never shoot on the hard surfaces or shoot in the water because it can ricochet.
Yeah.
Right. So at certain angles, man, if you shoot a bullet at water, it will ricochet. Right. Yeah. So again, I mean, Armel might be onto something, jump in the water, but I can't swim.
Well, I've definitely seen bullets skip across the water.
Yeah. So same thing. So it's all about that angle,
right?
If you hit at the right angle, it can.
And probably with a lot of turbulence, you probably have even more, variations.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because if it's especially choppy water, it would probably be almost impossible to hit your target through it.
So I mean, and that's like a good thing, because like even like, you know, when the Coast Guard and Navy do VBSS and they do interdictions, you never see them shooting into the water to like disable a boat. They always shoot, you know, above the waterline,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
but yeah, man, there you go.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, this going by this machete about to be my home defense round right here. Yo, I am loving these joints.
Change the game.
I'm gonna mess somebody up. Yo, I mean, this make you not want to be a bad guy for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, you got to
Yeah.
think this.
Well, that's the thing, man. I don't understand what makes people want to, you know, especially when it's like the guy that got stabbed at the casino, man. There was no connection. It was just a random attack.
Hey,
You know what I mean? And I don't understand that. I understand when people hurt people for a motive or because, you know, I can kind of, I'm not saying I can get behind it, but what I'm saying is I do understand it to a level. If somebody, you know, hurt somebody in my family or something, I could see somebody reacting out of sorts, but I don't understand random acts of violence. I just can't get behind it.
yeah. Hey, Tony Macaroni, check out the private chat. There's a link for some bullets in there for some ammunition, man. That might be what you're looking for. I'm just
He
saying.
likes me. He really likes me.
But that's what's cool about all of us being able to come together and have a discussion is we can you know, go over all these topics and figure out.
They're up
you know,
your way too, Tony.
Yo.
we can figure out, you know, what the truth is behind things and from, you know, our personal experiences.
Oh, snap. This ain't that far away.
I just
exactly-
said that.
Oh.
Like Dr. Evil on it.
Yeah. So he said, I gotta go.
Yo, this conversation just brings me into like two of the hardest classes that I ever took in my life, right? One was fluid dynamics, the other one was thermodynamics, right? And dealing with firearms, both of those things come to play. And it just, until recently, I never even thought about these things, man. And they were two of the most confusing classes that I ever fucking took, you know.
Dude, man,
Like,
should
dude,
call me up. I
they
would
won't
have did that
sell to
homework for you.
civilians.
Huh?
Man, that shit was 20 years ago, Joe. Your ass
They won't
wasn't
sell
even a
to
thought
civilians.
process. Huh?
There's a way to get it.
I'm about to become a cop tomorrow. Is it law enforcement or military?
Holla at your boy.
Yo, this is ooh.
What are you looking at now, Tony? I missed part of it. I went to the bathroom.
Put it like this: I'm about to spend more money on ammo than anything.
That's smart. That's actually smart, though.
Yo,
Hey, Tony, what you say? That shit just be calling me.
yo, it is. Goodness gracious.
Like, I got something for that ass.
Yeah, man.
Yo. Yeah, they put it in. Yeah. Oh, darn.
Yeah, it said the rail gun. It said Shanna. What she said? Vessel boarded search and seizure.
Yeah, VBSS.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
I had too many of those days. Anyway, it says bow and arrow, baby. Integrity said, "Fuck that bow and arrow shit, man. Fuck, I look like an African or African."
Hey, Jason, you all right over there? Shanna gangster over here with vessel boarding.
Yeah, Jason, you got that? Yo,
I think I'm
Jason,
all right. I don't
my
know.
homeboy
Hey,
from
Tony
Canada.
Macaroni, but is
Yo,
that
if you
legit,
ain't
man?
checked my man video out, he in Canada behind enemy lines, and he's still doing his thing, man. J.A. Hunter Plus. Subscribe to his channel, man. He constantly comes in here like every week. I like his videos. I holler at him, leave comments, and he support in return. So the little bit of a community I got, holler at him. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He got some nice, he's not Canadian legal stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Cass put me on to him because she's like, this guy's Jamaican.
Man, I hope they get rid of Trudeau, man. I hope they get rid of him as quick as they can. He has messed that country up, man.
Well, it's not really a country, man. It's a British and
Whatever.
French territory.
Whatever.
So they don't have independence and shit like that. So
I think they should toss him out on his butt.
getting a bit of the doubt. But we in American and we have pretend independence, and the shit ain't really independence. We are a corporate colony. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you.
We're a corporate colony, man. Whoever pays the biggest bag, and in Washington State where you live, the people pay the biggest bags, and the ones that paying the biggest bags is the ones who got the biggest guns. You know what I mean? They keep their gun shit straight. But we ain't gonna talk about that. We on here 2 hours and 25 minutes, man. I'm gonna hit backstage, but we still here. Who amped up? Who's still in here, man? Holla at me. Who's still in here besides the people on the panel, man? That I talk to all the time and have on the phone. Yeah, Shanna, you're always there. But who else is here? Other than Shanna Integrity, holla at me. Say what up. Yo, throw the thumbs up. Tell me you here. So we can keep the party started, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because yo, Trinity Arms, Monday, we going in into that F them kids territory, man. On Monday. And this was a topic that came off on Trinity Arms Scam. I'm gonna give you a little preview. This was a topic that came off our regular scheduled programming because my man Ray Official, he coined that saying, but he always going out his way for them damn kids, bro. Ray Official always going out his way for them damn kids. So we had to, F them kids daggone thing, because my man Integrity came up with this thing where a 13-year-old basically told on a whole bunch of people, and somebody said that he was wrong for doing that because he violated the street code. So Integrity said that to the point where at 13 years old, you're not responsible for abiding by any rules that go to adult. And I beg to differ. You know what I mean? I think we babying these damn kids and we're not holding them teaching them accountability. So
Hey, Tony, check out the back chat. I dropped the link to the video for that product. You might be impressed.
What the hell he talking about? Let's see what he talking about here.
Yo, I am in love with this round.
But hey, that's
swim
the video.
rounds?
That's the video that round working.
Yo, post it on the other thing. Drop the link. Post it on the what's the name? People might be interested in that.
Yo.
Right. So it talks about vertical stringing and everything else and shit, shooting through different mediums and how it, deflection, inflection, and staying.
Yo, drop the video on the thing, Joe. Present the video.
Oh man, I don't know if these guys is read on this shit.
Yeah, but it's rusted information. We ain't like we doing shit else.
Who all's in here, man? How many people?
That's the pool. We got 12. We got 12, 13 people in here.
Yo, you sharing?
Jump in the water, guys. Jump in the water.
Well, now you don't want to do that with these rounds because these rounds are specifically designed.
But everybody don't got them rounds. Only those who, if you know, you know.
Shit, I'm sure fucking Macaroni Tony gonna put someone on the street, or AKA Dr. Black Evil.
AKA, I got them toys.
What?
So you
know it.
So you see how that thing went straight? Let me pull it back to here, right? So .308 round, 760 by 51, right? See how it's staying true.
That's crazy.
So this is going to be a shot from elevated position into a holding tank, right? So you see the entry, you see how it travels straight and true.
Uh-huh.
So they've overcome and defeated that. So if you're going up against people that got these, you assed out. But your average, as Armel would say, your average about it type dude, you good.
What if you were suppressed? Would it affect this at all?
No. So these
Okay.
these rounds aren't affected by suppressors because remember, suppressor is just suppressing the sound signature and flash
Gotcha.
signature. So once we're talking about changing mediums and how it doesn't deflect. Because remember we talked about earlier about like when you shoot through a glass windshield, you know that round's going to go up, it's going to deflect just because of the bullet technology and all the good stuff, right?
Yeah.
So this is how, right? Going through a windshield glass, you see how it's staying true and everything else, right? So,
Yo, 2 windshields into the watermelon, and yo, this is dope.
I know that's breaking your heart that they shot up a watermelon.
I know, right? Oh,
Some things we got to do in the name of science.
yeah.
Yo, you know what's crazy? You ever notice that the mega rich, the cats that live out in the mountains in LA and out in Colorado and Connecticut, they have like constant waterfalls in their houses? Y'all ever notice that? Like the architects just build indoor waterfalls constantly in their houses, in the mega
Right, they got
houses.
some protection,
It's a security feature.
security. Yeah,
Safe
I saw
room.
about that. I was like, yeah, if I could waterproof
Safe
all the damn
room.
walls in the house.
Yeah. So you see that, you know, he went through 90 degrees windshield and still stayed true on that watermelon. So I know most people don't understand it, don't get geeked up about it.
And this goes all the way through. Look at this.
Yeah. So that's like almost a 1/2 inch piece of steel, right? 3 aluminum plates. You see that flash from that energy that was dumped in the gel? That's why you be smoking sometimes when you get shot,
That's insane.
right? So that shit just penetrated still. But yeah, so the technology is out there. Your average run-of-the-mill dude, you ain't got to worry about that.
So
But
basically, 99% of the hitters ain't got it.
Yo, yeah.
You always got that 1%. You know what I mean?
they got a LinkedIn profile. I'm just saying.
Yo, we got cats on here talk about a lot of night vision and a lot of daggone things. But we talk about shit that could defeat the shit that shit can't defeat.
Shit defeating the elements.
The
Yeah.
power of water, man.
Yeah, but you can't carry enough water with you to make it applicable in all situations.
You don't, as you can see, but for real, Jason, as you can see, you don't need much.
Still
You
a
don't
couple
need
hundred
much
gallons.
to defeat. You don't need much to defeat the shit that most people are carrying.
Well,
You still need a couple hundred gallons,
Yeah,
though.
and the thing of it is, right? You know, if you got time to hunker down and bunker down, there's certain things you can do, and you can't plan for every eventuality. I just know personally, you know, depending upon where I'm at, if I'm getting into a situation, if I see a big fish tank, I'm hopping my bigger ass behind the fish tank. I got, you know, a high probability if they do shoot at
sure.
me, that fish tank is going to absorb some of that stuff, at least for a little bit. Time, you know,
Absolutely.
space buys you time buys you options, right?
Yeah.
You know, so
I look at it
it's
like
just-
this: if you don't know how to swim, learn how to swim.
But
yeah,
but if it was if
that's if you're out there in the environment and everything else. So we have to understand our environment in which we operate in, right? So, like a lot of the architecture designs in some of these buildings are designed for personal protection. If you got a building that has like those large planters and everything else, jump behind that because that's filled with dirt. Dirt stops a lot of stuff. You
I was
know?
gonna say, like, if you had sandbags on the left and a big fish tank on the right, you'd probably still go for the sandbags. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, depends upon which one I'm closest to.
Well, that's true too. But you know what I'm saying. I'm just saying the sandbags are
actually,
pretty
Jason,
good.
hey, the $250 mil for real, depends upon the fish. Because there's like exotic fish. I'd be like, hey man, you kill me, you're gonna get 10 years. But you kill these fish, like Peter gonna be on you, man. This is like Jack
True,
Terrier Russell
true.
last purple google goblin fish, man. You don't want
Yeah.
We're
what's her
synthetics,
name?
baby.
Yeah, you don't want what's that chick's name, man? The singer. You don't
I
want
don't
Taylor
know.
Swift to get on your case.
Tay-Tay.
Yeah, Taylor Swift, yo, Taylor Swift talk all this environmental shit, but she'll
Yeah.
fill up that airplane to fly anywhere to see her man play.
17 hours after performance to go to Super Bowl.
The cool guys
Fuck
call it
outta
Tay-Tay
here.
though.
Talk about the environment.
Hey, Philly Slow, like the Walmart mixed variety bag of hood ammo, get the job done too for years.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
until
I'm
you
with
fuck
you.
with a nigga that know.
Yeah, and that's just like we said. 22 long rifles and dropping people, had them up in the ooh-wee, making them reconsider every life decision I ever made. Talking about, man, let me make it through this. I'm gonna get right with Jesus. I'm gonna be a deacon next week.
that DC
Well,
sniper was hitting everybody with 22, wasn't he?
No, he was shooting a 5.56 223.
Was it really?
Yep.
I don't know why I heard that was 22, but I could be
But
wrong.
technically 5.56 223 is a 22 because the caliber
Yeah,
is
it's not any
0.224.
bigger, really. Yeah.
It's a .224 caliber, just got more velocity behind it.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, shit, boy. Hey, let me make it through this. I'm gonna get right with Jesus. I'm going to church.
Yeah,
Yo,
I think you for real.
Technology out here like
I think
this.
I
yo,
ain't gonna
this is
talk about
crazy.
Yahweh or Jesus or nothing like that.
Hey,
but
would you
need
say,
to get
Tony?
closer in these modern days? And I'm gonna take this out, man. You need to get closer to whatever your higher power is, or your center self. You know what I mean? Because this gun shit and this world shit is serious business. You know what I mean? This ain't play. You know, and we gotta live it. Whether it's first world, third world, or eighth world,
Hey,
or
Jason,
ninth
look,
wonder.
a gallon of water. I'm good.
We gotta
Hydrated.
hold ourselves to us and the people around us to a set of accountability, man. And we've been real laxy daisy about this, man. And I know we like our little honey guns, the more pretty, beautiful bullshit, you know what I mean, that we enjoy shooting. But whatever gun you got, whether it's honey or it's shit, you know, get proficient with it. You know what I mean? Get familiar with it, get intimate with it, and learn how to use it. Whether it's honey or shit, whatever you got, make the most out of it. And that's how I'm gonna end this live. Honey or shit, whatever you got, make the most out of it, and get the most out of it, and never regret a purchase, especially if it's something that's gonna save you, that might be able to save your life. Good night, everybody. I'm gonna
Much love,
holler at
man.
y'all.
Peace.
Peace.